welcome everyone to day 2 of week 2 here at the Southeast Asian Invitational League, presented to you by Esports Anchor. I'm Verbalocity, back in my chair. Shout out to Wolf for covering for me yesterday, and next to me, as always, will be WizKid. WizKid, are you reading?
Absolutely not. I am listening to you, and now I will be reading as we actually get the picks and bans coming through for the side of Blitz and Loyal, which is going to be our first matchup today.
So, Blitz Loyal is an interesting tale, Wiz, at least for me. Loyal is a team which has drawn every game it's had. It's gotten splits all the way through Split 2, funnily enough. Blitz has lost every game, so both of these teams have something to prove, but Blitz has a bit more of a figurative chip on its shoulder, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Blitz really needs to start winning some games currently. They have yet to win a single game, as you said, whereas Loyal, although they have won games, not being able to 2-0, that's actually very similar to a couple of teams over in EU. I can't remember specifically which one it is, but I do think there's one which hasn't actually won a 2-0 set yet. They've just been splitting constantly, basically. So it's one of those things you've got to be careful, but it does happen. It's not too bad, though. They just really need to be able to start getting these things through. Speaking of getting things through, we've got bans already. Circuit and Thoth for the side of Blitz, Bologna and Loki for Loyal. So pretty standard bans, including that Loki, because Marky's on the side of Blitz.
Marquis Leger, and just in general, I'd say, Wiz, for Southeast Asia, Loki first ban is quite common because of the pace and style that Southeast Asia like to employ. Sylvanas going to be logged in for Loyal. That's very curious, because, as we said, Southeast Asia likes a much faster tact to their play. Sylvanas, of course, can help quite a lot in the early game with his roots and his heals, but of course he's a giant immobile tree. If he gets dunked on by a high mobility jungler or a kill lane, like for instance Ganesh Kernados can be with an Ao Kwang jungle, if that's going to go to Ninja Derps, that Ao Kwang, and he managed to get a kill early on Sylvanas, that is a huge issue for Loyal.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty nuts, but then again, I actually kind of like the Sylvanas, because Ganesh does have one incredibly big problem, is that he doesn't have any sort of CC immunity. He lacks that sort of peeling that someone can try and do, which if Sylvanas roots him, pulls him, gets him away from the team fight and tries to keep him busy, that's actually going to be ridiculously good for the side of Loyal, because Ganesh can't actually protect his backline at all. He has to use his stats to chase rather than to try and protect people get in the way, and that causes a lot of problems. He's going to be going to a completely different angle. He's not going to be able to save this Ao Kwang either, so you're just going to end up sort of seeing him get shoved out of a team fight. Again, it depends on where that Dharmic pillars get placed though, and whether he can use that knock up to be able to get an effective target in the middle of these team fights.
Second set of bans came out. A lot of mid bans by Team Loyal. They do not want Marquis to get comfortable. That might force him into the Hades pick we saw last week. Keep that in mind. He has a lot of gods in his proverbial back pocket. Meanwhile, Blitz taking a more balanced style of bans, getting rid of the Osiris and the Agni. Kami has a mean Agni. I mean, it's no lobster, but it's still bloody effective. We've seen it happen before. And Osiris, no comment there. It's Osiris. That's a Hades. Yes, I love seeing Marquis Hades.
Yeah, and that's going to be an Amaterasu lock-in as well, so definitely a mid-Hades. You do see him in the solo lane sometimes, as he is viable there now, but nowhere near as good as anyone like an Osiris or a Bologna. Yet, we'll have to see where Loyal goes, because Hades might be something they're not fully used to fighting. You do see it a lot more in Southeast Asia, though, so it might be something that Loyal could be predicting and ready to go for. This Scylla is probably an okay-ish matchup, actually, for these two, so we'll have to see exactly how it goes.
Yeah, we're going to be loading into game shortly here. I doubt we'll see any kind of shenanigans. The comps read themselves out fairly nicely, unless the teams are going to do any kind of role swap. We have seen Blitz do that once or twice. We're going to be loading in. Survey says it will not be any kind of switching shenanigans. Everything laying out nice and evenly, and it looks like Blitz has already got a ward up here, Wiz. That is unusual for Blitz. Blitz like doing the offensive wards and getting right in the enemy's face. They're giving Loyal a good bit of respect.
I mean, I do very much like this, though, since you are going for an Ao Kwang, you're not going to have a fantastic early game, and we've seen that Apex really enjoys moving around this jungle a lot. He's insane about it. I mean, literally yesterday we saw him starting with Dracula V in the solo lane, and just absolutely destroying him, killing him 3 times within the first 3 minutes. I
Yikes.
wonder if Blitz have been were actually watching these games, because they could have been, and they might be trying to say, okay, yeah, we don't want that. And look at this, they've actually doing a 3-man speed buff start instead of starting at lanes, which is going to slow them a little bit in some of the XP, but will definitely help them make sure that they get at least these buffs.
Yeah, you do not want Susano getting ahead early, especially in Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia, Susano has won a very high percentage of his games. Left side here, Seeks incredibly low already, courtesy of the 1-2 punch from Blitz. They're looking to find him, Bill doing a fantastic job of body blocking Z-Bunny's attacks and providing healing to his carry will result in no deaths, but they will lose some momentum.
Yeah, they're definitely going to lose a lot of momentum, and that's not something you want against the Colonels. They're going to be able to wipe this lane clean easily. Meanwhile, Loyal hasn't even been able to touch it. They will go to this purple buff, and most likely it will be going to them with absolutely no contention. They might be able to get back to it just towards the end, but I doubt they'll be able to steal it away.
Yeah, they're going to keep going for it. They will, in fact, get the purple, and now they're going to re-engage onto Bill HK, taking a decent bit of damage, but his Sylvanas can be able to heal that up. Will Blitz actually stay and duel this out, or are they going to take their lumps and then move back to lane? Probably the safer bet to move back, so that's what they'll do.
Yeah, wise choice to actually retreat there. They didn't have a whole lot, especially since they were only level 2. But as you say, in mid lane, we see Marquis nearly dead already.
Marquis incredibly low, needs to juke, but he doesn't have his death from below available immediately, so he's going to fall down. Ninja Dev's on his own, gets the kill with using the water shadow as well. That was absolutely beautiful mechanics. And he's going to get away from Apex at the same time.
Yeah, and Apex is just too low to really go in. He is looking for perhaps using his teleport to try and finish off Ninja Devs, but deciding against it, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot here. Back in the duo lane, though, Bill HK is already nearly dead yet again.
Oh, he just got pruned by Z-Bunny. That's going to result in Seekser having to retreat as fast as he can, and he's going to lose even more crucial pressure, which is what a Medusa thrives on. She needs to be able to be that super aggressive, punchy duo laner, but you can't if your solo's just gone down and you're being pushed in by a Ganesh and a Kernanos.
It's not too bad, though, because Medusa still does have some very viable clear. She's got a fantastic use of the acid spray, which can do a lot of damage to a wave. It just takes a while to get there, and she's not even level 4 yet, let alone towards the sort of side where she can actually safely do that sort of stuff. So I don't expect to see her doing too much in the first couple of minutes. If Blitz actually go for a Gold Fury, that can really start to extend their lead. In the solo lane, though, it looks like Sarah Eclipse is going to drop Yuki very low. Looking for it, just wants to try what he can, and finally Sarah Eclipse taking it.
Sarah Eclipse, I think, managed to actually block the dash as well. So that was actually left side here, more fighting. Ninja Dev gets caught in the Cyclone, eliminated by Apex, but can we get in the killing blow? Team Loyal need to decide, do they want to go in for seconds, or are they going to move away? Actually, no, it's going to be Blitz going in. Marquis going to start the party. Going to pop the Pillar of Agony as well. Very questionable. All you've got is a Ganesh to follow up, and that's not a lethal 1-2 blow. That's a big ultimate gone, Wiz. That's very surprising.
I imagine he thought he had a lot more damage than he realized, but because he actually started this Vampiric Shroud rather than the sort of Soul Stone we see from a lot of new gods, that's made it a lot more difficult for him, as he's not doing a whole lot of damage that the Soul Stone provides with that extra 40 magical power during those 3 seconds. That means that instead, he's just going to be doing a decent amount of poke and pulling damage, but as you said, there's only Ganesh there. You're not going to be finding a kill, especially on someone like a tanky Sylvanas.
Sylvanas, Speak of the Devil, unfortunately, is a little ways behind because that doesn't even have his ultimate yet. And that's going to disrupt Team Loyal's pacing for grabbing objectives quite significantly, because they're going to have to grab that before they can actually go for any objectives. Right side here, a little bit of an argy-bargy, but all it was a buff steal by Sarah Eclipse with the support of Apex, and nothing really too dramatic came of it.
Yeah, now Loyal going to be able to go for the mid camps as well, just trying to get a bit of a lead going. If we have a quick look at the graphs, you can see that we're about 1,000 in gold lead, and basically nothing in XP. It's actually gone into favor of Blitz right now, and that will probably go up and down consistently throughout. There's just so much stuff going on.
He's getting so aggressive here with Petrify. Used to try and slow him down, but Bunny down to half health has a little bit of wiggle room, especially if the Hosey turns around. No! He gets turned on by Cammy instead. Fires off the armor monster will result in the death of the carry. Hosey just has to sit there like, well, What do I do now? I'm a Ganesh 1 versus 3. But meanwhile, in the middle, actually, I thought that was going to be a clean escape for Ninja Derbs. Apex chases and gets the kill.
I was trying to keep an eye on it, but unfortunately it was just such a huge amount of damage from Typhoon that not going to be able to actually see that one, unfortunately. However, now it looks like Loyal are just starting to take the lead, even though Blitz arguably has the better team comp. I mean, you've got a Ganesh, a Kurnanos, an Ao Kwong, and an Amaterasu. That's not something you want to sniff at too much. But, on the other hand, solo lane, Yuki's probably going to go down here.
Oh, critical mistake! Tries to go in on a Xingqian who has the full stacks of regeneration and gets stuck in the washing machine and completely eviscerated.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice try, but he just had no health and very little mana as well, so couldn't really stay, and as soon as he went in, he probably realized that was that for him. He couldn't even escape even since it's just quite a slow ultimate, actually. Apex, though, taking a lot of damage here.
He gets rendered down to about half, has surplus support, but like you said, the mana's a bit low now for Eclipse, so he's going to run with his tail between his legs. Ninja Derbs and Hosey still on the chase, rest of the team in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Execute is good, eliminates Ninja Derbs back to the middle. Ayuki, Hosey, and Ninja Derbs, who's up in the sky, could look to try and gank onto Apex or anyone, but no. Blitz takes them a safer idea of just moving back. They got their food, let's not try and overeat.
Yeah, again, you've got to kill. You don't need to go too far in if you're not sure how well it's going to go. And again, fantastic idea. If you're not going to be able to get kills, at least without other people dying, that's exactly what you need to do. Apex, though, doing a lot of damage to Marky here. Bunnies has rotated over, going to use the balls as well, trying to chase down Apex. Typhoon used as well. Bill is going to look for the pull, not going to be able to find it onto Bunny, though. But Marky's on half health already.
Pincer tap by Loyal does a decent job. Good knock-up by Bill's going to render most of his team able to attack. Kami going on a train wreck here. That's 2 kills for him. Apex is somehow still alive. Never mind, Yuki finishes that off. It's going to be a 4-for-2 trade. But Loyal got the way better end of that deal.
I think that was a 3-for-2 actually, but it's still going on. Ninja Dub's gonna get stuck
now
there.
It's 4-for-2.
Now it's 4-for-2, and it looked like Yuki got to be careful.
I was just predicting the future there, Wiz. Don't worry, I'm a mind reader.
Yeah, unfortunately the washing machine didn't hit too well, but the crush is going to finish him off. That's an unofficial deicide.
Kami is being left alone so much in these fights, Wiz. The amount of pressure that Blitz is trying to put on, I think it comes back to that point you mentioned earlier during picks and bans, Wiz. The lack of CC for Blitz on their big go-in gods, their guardians, just simply isn't there in enough quantity to really lock down Kami and Apex.
And not to mention, Ao Kwong, although a relatively safe god, still needs help. He needs someone to set him up, someone to actually get him out if he gets in trouble and they're using a bracer, for example, and he just can't do anything because they're above 30% HP. That's actually a terrible place for you to be in. Marky, again, taking so much damage here, forced to recall, did get hit by the wisps, not going to take enough to actually die, though. He's already on a 3rd health, and that was just Kami getting a single little crush stick combo off. So you've got to be careful about this damage.
Team Loyal has been very good stripping relics. Ninja Derb, someone had his entire HP pass stripped. The Cyclone from downtown is good. Apex claiming another life by dragging them into the deep. Solo lane, Yuki getting aggressive again. He can't afford this when he's 2 levels down and has been beaten multiple times by Sir Eclipse already. And now there's more fighting in the mid as well, because why not? It's Southeast Asia.
Yeah, Kira's already going to be dead to Kami. Apex going to get a bit of healing from the wisps as well. Bunny has rotated over. Sixuk is nearby, but he doesn't actually need to even be in this fight. Kami is not going to go towards the ball as Bill HK gets himself tuskied. And now Bunny is on his own with Sixuk in the mid lane. No one's going to be able to be weak enough for him to go and chase afterwards. But back in the solo lane, Yuki's got to be careful.
A dazzling offensive, doing a little bit of damage, but mainly as a preventative measure to stop himself from getting CC'd by Apex or by Sir Eclipse. Gonna get himself out of there. But
yep.
I think Blitz's lack of CC is now really starting to hurt them, as we saw there. What are some of the biggest sources of CC that Blitz have? You can't really say Yuki because Yuki's too busy in the solo lane just trying to get farm and beat out Eclipse, and that isn't working. They could rely on the execute, like you said, but that's unreliable at best, considering Loyal has a good bit of sustain. Blitz will get the Oracles, and they can have good objective control with Bunny's CC off the ultimate, as well as the ultimate from Hades being piloted by Marquis, but Team Loyal just has much more consistent long-range damage.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the CC, the best one you were talking about is going to be Yuki's ultimate. And you're only going to be able to get 2 or 3 people at most if you're lucky. Normally it's not even 1 sometimes, so yeah, Marky's just dead. Like, there's nothing to talk about. He's just dead. This is the problem with going for this Bancross build. He just takes so much damage. His Ninja Turps also falls. You're going to take so much damage, especially from a fully stacked Doom or Scylla, who has yet to really be punished for this build. That is not something you want to see particularly.
And that lack of punish is starting to actually, that lack of punish inspiring so much confidence is leaking out to the rest of Loyal. We're starting to see Apex get way more greedy, so Eclipse is rotating more often for ganks, alongside just battering Yuki into the ground. Team Loyal are going to be rotating actually to set up a heavy amount of pressure in the solo. This entire time, Seeksa has just been chilling in the duo lane, farming up. Yuki going to be under pressure here.
Oh, Yuki's not going to be on the pressure, he's going to be dead. You can't fight Kami right now unless you have magic protection, and even though he has 45, it's not going to be enough to really actually defend him. He's going to need at least probably a Bulwark of Hope to even have a slight attempt. However, Blitz have started this Gold Fury. Loyal know it's being done, but I don't think anyone can get in there. It's already down, but Portal Demon's going to go the way of Loyal.
They're going to trade objectives 1-to-1. The Gold Fury is going to be a nice boon for Blitz. You know, it's going to give them a bit more golden XP to work with and try and slowly but surely creep that deficit back towards the neutral. But if we have a look at the graphs here, Wiz, 5k XP, almost 4k gold, and Loyal can keep the pressure up through the Portal Demon for a Fire Giant. Team Loyal got the better end of that trade.
Oh yeah, thoroughly. And they're actually starting up the Fire Giant. I don't think anyone on Blitz actually knows this is happening. They're not expecting it. It's only 12 minutes in. Who does a Fire Giant at the 12-minute mark? Turns out it's Team Loyal, and they do it successfully. No one's dead. Everyone's going to come back through the Portal Demon, and it's not going to be looking good, especially for looking how far some of the side of Blitz are up.
And if you're familiar with the players on Loyal, these are a ragtag band of previous teams, and Loyal love that fast-paced kind of play. We harp on about it so much during SEA, but Loyal can exemplify that style. They'll say, okay, we're going to lose the left-hand side here, tower to Z-Bunny here. That sucks. But we're going to take your tier 2 in the right and possibly even kill Yuki. Speaking of Yuki, going to use the offensive for CC immunity. Going to start dashing away. But Eclipse with the god-tier body blocks, keeping him backwards. Washing Machine going to be used to throw him forwards. And he picks up 2 as well. It's a 2-for-1 special offer.
Yep, now Kira already going to be going down to Apex there. Marky's going to try and do what he can. He has no tank either, though. He's going to be blown up by Kami's ultimate. Ninja Derps is already dead to Wisps. Anyway, Apex doesn't get a double kill. Kami doesn't need to use his ultimate anymore, as Bunny's trying to take a tier 2. They've just taken the Phoenix. They're going to go for the win here.
Well, Blitz is probably feeling rather sad about their name, considering they just got blitzed by Loyal. Titan down 6,000, but this is... Okay, Bunny, fantastic use of the Wild Hunt. He's going to Tusky all members of Loyal, but unfortunately, he's going to get turned into stuffing himself. Kira, Posey, now trying to keep himself in the running as well. Yuki, meanwhile, fighting as hard as he can. This could be the repulsion effort that Loyal needs. That damage from Kami was disgusting, but Loyal have already done the damage. They've got 1 Phoenix down, heavy damage on the Titan. Blitz have to sit in base and babysit for a little bit, while Loyal can just start running rampant across the map.
Yeah, at least one person is going to need to be stuck in that solo lane, just trying to keep it clear. Meanwhile, there's still that tier 2 tower in mid lane. There's still 2 towers in the duo lane as well. They could easily go and just borrow away without anyone really on the side of Blitz being able to contest them. Because Yuki is not going to be able to clear these fire menus quick on his own. You can see he's just about struggling with them because they're so early on. You don't expect the tankiness of a fire minion so early like this. Normally you don't sort of fight them until about 20 minutes and they can be a little bit tough then, but having it at a 14-minute mark, you're just not used to it.
Bunny being chased down like a boar in the woods here by Loyal. Washing Machine is good. Throws into the setup, into the 3 ultimate combo. Loyal starting to get a little bit swaggy. Loyal now going to turn from demolishing gods to demolishing towers potentially. No, they're going to go for second servings for Loyal and Yuki in the meanwhile. So Derps and Yuki. Yuki on the retreat, trying to run from the Eclipse. A bit of a similar situation. Meanwhile, that will be Ninja Derps going down on top left. Team Loyal getting 4 kills, and they're about to get a tower as well.
Yeah, these past team fights we've just been seeing, so Blitz is trying to do what they can. They get like a golf turing maybe, they get a couple of cows, but they lose everything else for it. Loyal is just taking these things pick by pick, and it's looking so nasty for them.
You can tell Loyal wants to really get this game over with quickly when they purchase an Emperor armor on Bill HK this fast, because they just want to stop the structures from doing anything and let them enforce their will upon Blitz's backline.
Yeah, are you not used to a single Phoenix being down at 50 minutes? Try 2. Bill HK, though, going to be using Rapid Terror to keep him alive. Beautiful route, though, from Kami, but Yuki going to be finishing off Bill HK first.
And now it's going to result in Apex looking for Ninja Derps. Derps trying to juke away. He needs to get to his fountain before it gets taken out by Seeksuck. Petrify used. Camille working in the wings, trying to get a good crush off. It's actually fantastic. It eliminates the carry. Multiple ultimates now being used by Blitz, including the Pillar of Agony. That's going to be almost every ultimate on Blitz down. Only Ninja Derps has it available. Apex still has Cyclone. Looks for the setup. The beat is good to stop the execute for Ninja Derps. It's a jungler on jungler fight, but no. Both of them are just going to say, okay, we had our fight. We got our pound of flesh. Let's leave Apex. That's going to say, actually, no, let's not leave. Let's fight a bit more. Gonna actually go back in on Marquis. This is a bit risky for Apex.
Yeah, like I think he's just trying to keep them busy, seeing what he can do, trying to get Winions happening, but unfortunately, I don't think Blitz are gonna fall for that. Like, they're just gonna recall. Actually, you know, Apex is gonna die? Oh no.
Apex,
okay.
Leave! Stop mucking around with Marquis! What are you doing?
Marquis on full HP. Like, I don't understand why Apex is trying to do this. This could be very painful for him. Not going to be able to hit that 3 though. Marquis chasing after him still, using the TP, and now everyone here, Yuki going to use the ultimate.
Why did you burn ult? Oh my...
Why not? Why not?
Because Blitz need every single tool in the proverbial toolbox that they need right now. They are so far behind, it's not even funny. That they burned one of the best engaging retreat ultimates on an Apex who was probably cosplaying as pirate skin, playing that drunk.
Yeah, just sadly for Blitz, it's looking like their gameplay currently is about as hollow as the new Twitter icons. They're not able to actually get anything out. Every time they try and do something, look at Marquis, he's already dead just for going for the red buff.
Bloody hell. I feel like Blitz should probably F6. This is a best of 2 set. So, and we're only in week 2. So yeah, if you take a 1 or more loss, it's something you can try and climb back through the standings. Ninja's going to get evaporated rapidly. But Blitz just needs to think about the next game. Z-Bunny gets absolutely demolished, and this is going to be Team Loyal going for the juggler here unless they want to start padding their KDs. Just kill the Titan, please. Thank you. But Loyal, I've got to say there, Wiz. They executed their strategy perfectly. They told Cammy, okay, get a Doom Orb, we're going to sit 2 people in your lane, and then you're going to start dumping on people. Admittedly, it was nice that Eclipse was able to get so far ahead against Yuki that he could start rotating quite heavily and do his, well, his own rotationary ultimates. But that all came down to that ginormous advantage in the mid lane off the snowballing Scylla.
Yeah, I mean, Scylla is going to get banned next game. I don't think anyone would let Kami play it after this. Sitting at, oh my god, 23k player damage doesn't sound great, but considering that was an 18-minute conquest game, that's insane. And again, look at the player damage on the side of Blitz. Most of them are sitting in the 4k. You have Bunny, who was the only one to break double digits. That's insane. Meanwhile, Kami's doubling that level.
It's a bit dire of a picture to paint, isn't it, Wiz?
Yeah.
I mean...
It's a little bit dire, but just unfortunate. I think Blitz weren't expecting just such a good Scylla play to come out. I don't think I saw Kami miss any routes. He probably did, I just never saw any of that. And this pen build he was going for as well, the Divine Ruin, Spear of Desolation, was probably going into a Rodder Tahuti as well. You don't need any sort of huge percentage penetration item if you got so much pen and so much power from this Doom Orb, as he had it nearly stacked constantly. I think the lowest I saw it was 43, although it must have gone down to 25 when he died. You just have so much power from that sort of build, you can't do anything.
Well, Blitz do have one option though, Wiz. We're going to be heading into Game 2 shortly. Let's see if Blitz can force Loyalty into another split, or can Loyal get themselves their first 2-0 of Split 2? Let's find out in a couple of minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Game 2 of this best of 2 set. Loyal currently 1-0 up on Team Blitz. Going to be going into the picks and bans momentarily. Loyal have chosen for the first ban this time round.
Yep, indeed. So, actually, no, I believe it's Blitz choosing for the second pick. So, normally it's the loser gets to do first pick, second pick choice after the first game. So, I imagine that's Blitz saying that, yeah, we want second, we want to try and do a couple of counter picks at least. Loki, again, though, going to be banned out straight away. Loyal just have this down of you don't let Marquee Loki.
And you don't let Camisilla whiz. That's going to be a ban that pretty much everyone would have seen coming. Loyal going to want to ban out Susano, so they don't want Ninja Dubs having it. Getting rid of it from Apex, okay, fine. He's got other junglers in his repertoire, but getting rid of Susano that quickly, they want to cut the legs out from under Blitz more than they want to actually build up themselves.
Yeah, they definitely are going to be trying to go for these certain picks that they really want. Ganesh immediately locked in. I wonder if that's going to be slightly better on the side of Bill HK than it was on Kira. He didn't do bad with it, but he just didn't have enough to be able to actually do that with, and I think that was a composition problem. Vulcan being picked up early is quite interesting. You don't normally see a Vulcan so early.
Freya! We haven't seen her in ages, Wiz. This is awesome!
Yeah, it's nice to see Freya, but whether that's good enough, I'm not sure, because again, Fatalis has received a major amount of nerfs. And although I do still believe that Fatalis is incredibly viable in a lot of cases, it's not great for Freya because she needs it incredibly early on, which means her sort of early game gets even worse than normal, and if you're up against a Kernanos, that's going to make it even worse.
Although, if they can actually get... I assume that's going to be Z-Bunny on the Freya? Although at this point, I don't know Blitz's players well enough to say if any of them have a pocket Freya. If they can get that Freya rolling, Wiz, that's going to be a pain in the backside for Kernos and Toth to deal with, because that's a ton of guaranteed damage with the ult. Then, of course, you can't duel against a Freya once she gets her lifesteal online. Emir is going to be a nice backline guarder as well to stop Kernos and Toth from going absolutely crazy.
Have Blitz gone back to, like, Season 1, Season 2 meta? Because that's what this feels like. If we get another couple of Guardians in here, like having a Kabrakan jungle at this point, and then maybe actually having a proper warrior solo lane, I feel like we're back in Season 2.
Did did Southeast Asia even have access to SMITE back during Season 1? I don't know.
I don't think they did, no. They might have been playing on some of the North American and EU servers, but Southeast Asia itself is a relatively new...
You see that, right? That's not a production error. Let me confirm it. That's not a production error. That's legit. That's an Anubis.
F-Dot, are you here?
Right.
I think this is your pick. I think they've done this for you.
Or, in a legit note, maybe they just want to override the advantage in mid heavily while maybe trying to rely on an Emir or Freya. I am so confused here, Wiz. Blitz has gone for something really off-kilter, even more so than Southeast Asia usually does. Loyal's gone for a much more sensible strat. I assume that Odin's going to be in the solo, although that could be a jungle Odin, and they're going to give Sir Eclipse back his Xing Chen, which he loves. That's a Bakasura. Blitz, are you drunk?
No.
What are you doing?
No.
That's... Well,
okay.
better hope F-Dot's not here, because he's going to be flipping out. He hates Bakasura. But I don't... Oh, God, you know what this is, Wiz? I remember hearing rumors about this in the Discord channels. Marquis has a mid-Bakasura that he loves playing during ranked games and whatnot. I think Blitz have either mentally thrown in the towel or are going for some kind of cheese play against Loyal that Loyal will not expect.
Yeah, we're going to have to see as we get into game. Yes, it is a Bakasura mid. We believe an Anubis jungle. Freya solo, and Vulcan ADC.
Southeast Asia, purest form of SMITE confirmed.
Yeah, truly is. Purest form of SMITE. And also, you were correct, it is actually an Odin jungle. I've not seen this that much, but it is run a fair bit in Oceania. A lot of the picks that you see there are quite interesting. A lot of players don't know fully how to deal with the Odin. And when I was coaching Noxide for the last split, we pretty much picked Odin every single game because it worked so well. Whether it can work in this setting, I'm not sure, and you can see they're actually already invading the speed buff because they know Blitz are just not going to be there to try and defend it.
It's weird when an Anubis Bakasura mid is having their jungle invaded on. Those are traditionally the hyper-aggressive mid-jungle duo. They could go in, wreck your entire jungle, and get back to the lane before any massive loss of wave happened. But it's Loyal instead are going to start going ham. They're going to pick off the right side speed, the right side blue as well. Blitz is having their entire set of resources in the jungle stripped for free.
Yeah, that's going to really hurt Yuki as well, because he's gone for the Vampiric Shroud again. That doesn't sound too bad, but when you consider he's also gone Ancient Blade level 1, he has absolutely no mana. His only mana currently is that single mana potion, which means he's going to struggle so much in this early game. He's not going to be able to get anything done since half of his mana is going to be used clearing the wave most of the time. He's going to be able to survive a decent amount, but whether he'll actually be able to do anything after that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's going to be in a big question. Bill and Cammy will try to stop Blitz from getting the Oracles, but alas, that's not to be. That's going to be both Oracles going the way of Blitz. Speaking of Blitz, they're going to get aggressive onto Cammy here. Cammy forced to pop Purification to stop himself getting killed off. But now it's going to be Marquis in a bit of trouble himself, has to try and run away. Relics for Relics, that's going to be unfortunate for Cammy because he's still level 2, and with Purification down, he is at the mercy of Ninja Dubs missing a wrap and Marquis coming in for an unsuccessful gank. If they Blitz are successful, he is going to be in for a world of hurt.
Although it looks like Bill hasn't had a huge amount of practice on Ganesha. It's not like yesterday where he had literally only played Fafnir. That was his first Season 4 game of Fafnir, but you could see quite clearly there, Apex went in for the leap along with the Bird Bomb combo, but Bill used the knockup, caught out Marquis, and forced him out of Apex's knockup combo, which just meant that he wasn't going to be able to get the damage, and that actually saved Marquis from First Blood. So, maybe not fully aware of just some of these combos, so got to be a little bit more careful, yet they are still just in a better position than the side of Blitz, purely out of their picks.
Yeah, sometimes you will just be forced into a god for the good of the team in picks and bans. You may not like it as much, but it's good though. Left side here, Apex bird bombing Bunny. Bunny incredibly low on this AD carry Vulcan. We haven't even talked about that yet. Meanwhile, Hosey trying to body block as much as he can. Ninja Dubs rotating around, trying to help out his team. Apex incredibly low. Bomb used. Gets the first blood for his team. Team Low gets that bonus, but Apex will fall. But the damage is already done. The gold's in the coffers of Loyal. But if Seek goes down here, that's going to be going in favor of Blitz instead. The ult was used for nothing. Oh, Seek saved the dash in time.
Yeah, Seek had been saving the dash consistently. Knew that the ultimate had just come up because Ninja had just hit level 5. Unfortunately, Ninja didn't have that stun. Vulcan ultimate used as well. Nowhere near though. Just a little bit of field goal, wanting to see if he was going to quickly grab Shipsuk. He's taking a lot of damage from minions actually, forced to let them go into tower.
This is looking a bit dire for Blitz now because they're not losing that much in terms of golden XP, but they're losing momentum, and SCA loves its momentum, especially in a game like this where the pits have been very questionable. You need to get that super big early game advantage. Blitz and Team Law are going to be squaring off on this right side. Speed buff? Eclipse. Put into the banish, incredibly low, needs to try and juke, but this is all but guaranteed death. And Apex really couldn't do much there. He already burned his ultimate to try and go for the 1-2 punch, but Blitz had simply had too many reinforcements to actually stop any kind of shenanigans from happening over there.
It was 2v3, and they were up in a bad spot. Really Loyal shouldn't have even attempted to do that fight there, but unfortunately that's going to be another kill going the way of Blitz, who are keeping up, surprisingly. Again, look at the graphs, we're very early on. This is only 5 minutes in. Completely even in gold almost. The XP actually in favor of Blitz, but that's mostly down to the First Bloods rather than anything else. I don't think this is going to stay that way that long. If Loyal can keep up some pressure and keep this up, they're most likely just going to advance forward. Again, also look at Bunny trying to catch up Marquis, who just stole away the red buff.
And he's going after Seek ultimate deployed. He's going to try and chomp him down. It will be successful, takes him out, but now Marquis is going to be an agent behind enemy lines. He needs to run as fast as he can. Cammy burns the last of his mana. Marquis with shades of Dracula V, trying to lead the team on a merry chase. The Pied Piper leading the gods around the jungle. It's now Apex trying for something. Gets the full bird bomb, but Marquis couldn't jump over. Marquis didn't jump over. Oh, that's absolutely tragic.
Oh no! Like for a moment, I was going back to the days of Dracula V behind the tier 2 tower. Just beautiful days that I wish to remember more. Unfortunately, though, he was trying to do what he can. Didn't actually use the jump over the wall in case Apex was going to try and follow him. Instead, just tried backing off, hoping that Apex wasn't going to go in, and then got hit by the bird bomb because he didn't actually realize that Apex went in. Although Eclipse got to be careful because Ninja Derps is hovering.
Yeah, wants to try and gank him, but the wrap, alas, will miss. So yeah, that's going to be unsuccessful. Team Loyal might try and go for a counter gank onto a immobile Anubis, but that's going to be a bit hard. Washing Machine going to do a decent bit of damage here. This gank, both ganks by both of these teams have been very shoddy in that solo lane. That was just not nice to watch.
I think it's not Bill HK on Ganesh. It might be Apex on this Odin. Bill HK, though, in a bit of a problem state. Kira going to be taking him out. Marky's on no HP, though. Kami going to dive in. Kami going to be able to get that kill. Nice wall from Ymir is going to be able to protect him a little bit longer. Bunny is just getting chased down, though. Apex going to use the cage. There we go. Finally dropping him down. 4-4, 7 minutes in.
And again, going back to a point that I was mentioning earlier before the big fight about the top right speed buff, this early pressure that Blitz has been dying to get with this cheese comp, this is a real polite way to put it, is fading fast, and that is not what they want. Because the whole point of going for this kind of unexpected, weird, out there, zany style is you catch the enemy off guard, you get an early lead, and then you sink the dagger in. But so far, Blitz has just been stood there trading with Loyal time after time after time, and Loyal has the much more sensible, effective composition. The later this game goes, it's going to favor Loyal more and more and more.
It really is, although you've got to put it into mind that there are some fantastic late games on the side of Blitz. You've got a Freya, you've got an Anubis, and you've got a Vulcan. They're all fantastic late games, but they're not fantastic late games together. Meanwhile, on the side of Loyal, you've got the Ganesh knock-up into the Thoth ultimate, you've got the Odin cage to lock them into the boars, you've got the general damage coming out from Sir Eclipse just trying to poke them out and using that to using his washing machine to keep them locked in. You've got a huge good team fight ultimate, which, although they may not have the best late games, they've still got some pretty good ones on there with the side of Colonel Lost and Thoth. Oh, Ninja, don't lazy back here. He didn't get punished.
No, please.
I
thank the Lord.
Okay.
Loyal have been smelling blood in the water. They seem to have realized that they have been pushing all three sides of the map heavily. Blitz have been able to keep in contention because of the objective control they've been able to manage. Although the Emir Wolf from Kira at Hosey is good. No follow-up because the rest of Blitz has just gone back to their respective lanes. Solo lane side, Yuki is getting pushed hard by Eclipse, but Team Loyal just want to keep farming at the minions and don't give Blitz any room to work with.
Yeah, Yuki now has Fatalis, although Marky gonna go on to Kami doing so much damage, actually gonna kill him. Dominic Pillars, I think, may have given that last little hit. Marky, though, gotta get out of here, taking quite a bit of damage from that slow field. Bill HK is still chasing. He does have a couple of things that instead gonna run away as Blitz take the gold jury. Eclipse is gonna try and stop Marky, actually gonna use the hook slam on the minions and gonna get punished for it.
Oh, the bird bomb is fantastic, though. The counter-attack from Loyal. Apex gets the double. Hosey is going to try and rotate, but there's not much he can really do here. But Marquis has to have been either reading from the Book of Leviticus, or has been aping Dracula at this point. Bunny's going to get rotated and completely destroyed. But that was a textbook Archipelago play. You send your jungler off or your solo laner off into the enemy jungle to just be a ginormous distraction. Marquis done this twice now, while your team sneaks a gold fury. That is...
Yeah.
Blitz has been aping some of Archipelago's strats and it's been working.
It's exactly what you need to do, but it's not enough yet. You can see that giant dip just before the 9.5 minute mark, where it just goes straight down into Blitz's favor, but it's already back up to where it was originally on the side of Loyal and Gold. And now the XP is actually going more in favor of Loyal than it has been the entire game. you're starting to see these
Loyal wants to
leads
gank
that were
the mid
fantastic.
here. Oh,
wow.
the damage is absolutely disgusting!
Okay.
Apex has managed to get just far enough ahead to just delete Marquis off the face of the earth. Please continue, Wiz. Apparently there was some murder in the mid.
Yeah, it's like a murder in the vicarage, but this is just a lot worse to watch.
Oh,
I don't
this
think
isn't pretty.
this is not pretty at all. I don't think Blitz are going to be able to last a whole lot longer in this. They are still doing a lot better than they did last game, though, which is the funniest statement I think I could have said, especially with this team comp, which I really don't agree with, honestly.
Yeah, if Blitz might have mentally checked out this match. Yuki just took so much damage, almost gets into the air in time to avoid it, but that's going to be a sacrificial Freya. Loyal, grab the Portal Demon, they're going to go back and keep momentum going to attempt the Fire Giant again. Loyal seem to have a bit of a knack for smelling out the right time to grab the Portal Demon and immediately capitalize. I hope Blitz can smell this out and get everyone postured up to at least try and defend Fire Giant.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Blitz, as you said, they feel like they've gone to the casino. Sixuk, though, gotta be a little bit careful here. He's gonna be able to get away. Marky, though, gonna be able to finish him off with the jump, using the bees from the ultimate as well, juking the ultimate. Apex is chasing after him. He might be able to get out. No, finally gonna finish it off by the bird bomb.
Or actually the bird shield. I think that's the first time in a long time I've seen someone die to just a shield explosion without a jump. A little factoid for you. But Apex, we should talk about him a little bit. He has been either directed expertly by the rest of Loyal, or, never mind, Eclipse going to try and get Ninja Dip's forced beats. But Apex is either being directing traffic himself or being directed, because anytime Loyal want to get a significant gank or a gank in the jungle or lanes, he has been there every time without fail to deliver humongous bursts of damage. Yuki, what are you doing there without significant wall presence? You are going to die here.
Quite possibly. He doesn't have ultimate either. Banish is going to save him a little bit longer. Eclipse doesn't really want to go in, but Apex is going to dive in, half HP, dead already. Just, you've got to be careful. Like, oh no, it looks like Ninja Depth's here though.
Apex pops the cage, gonna lock Ninja Derps and Hosey inside. Rest of Blitz trying to rotate around. Bunny launches the Earthshaker from downtown. Decent damage, but not as much as he maybe would have liked. Apex trying to juke away from the turret. Will have a good job of that for now. It's a 2 versus 4. Meanwhile, Cammy and Marquis squaring off in the mid, back to the top right here. Blitz is on the back foot again. This is...
Oh, Marquis.
This is essentially a replay we're watching of that first game with Blitz. Have a decent time early on. They can trade with Loyal, but then they just start slipping away to a huge degree. Later and later we get into the game.
Yeah, I feel like the early game is pretty good. They've got it down pretty nicely. They could be doing a little bit better. Meanwhile, though, their late game just feels a bit slightly lackluster. Bill HK, though, going to go down to Marquis due to the ultimate yet again. Marquis, though, probably dying here. Solar Eclipse going to beat him in the jungle just to finish him off. Sixuk, though, going to get the kill credit. Now, Portal Demon's about halfway through to coming up. Fire Giant is available, but I doubt Blitz wouldn't. Yeah, Blitz will even potentially look for it. Eclipse is chasing after Derps, going to be able to find the route and the knockup using the washing machine. He's probably dead.
Yeah, that is going to be one dead Goobis. Loyal.
Oh, Yuki.
Loyal has full control now. They understand this. They have picked aggressive relics, as we saw. The Blink Odin extremely effective in this scenario where you know you can step into a piece of territory and you cannot be punished because the enemy is so far behind. Hosey is stepping backwards for a reason. Yuki almost dies again. Apex is still chasing. Cage is used. Very greedy by Loyal. They might be getting a little too aggressive. The bracer is good. But no, Apex went the wrong way. He didn't get the kill. Yuki from downtown gets the snipe. It's good. Loyal still firing and trading away ultimates. Blitz, speaking of which, fire off their own ultimate. That's going to be the Vulcan ult. Doesn't get a kill, though. Team Loyal can still live to fight another day. And meanwhile, while they're retreating, they can still keep clearing camps because Blitz cannot fight them in these little skirmishes because they're so far behind.
Now the Oracle's going to be started up. Gold Fury is probably going to be started as well. But just one little shout out to Kira. Got a beautiful wall in that little scenario there. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't going to be enough as Apex actually had the leap away. But it could have been so glorious. Just a couple of seconds. Kami, though, going to try and use that evade and punish to go in.
Z-Bunny, locked inside the Dharmic Pillars, has nowhere really to go. A fantastic Aegis is going to avoid the damage from Cammy, but you can only use that for so long. Drops the Team Loyal's jungler, and Blitz is going to lose a second character. Team Loyal now are just stacking their advantage higher and higher and higher. We're gonna get to a point where they can try and go for the finish. Blitz going for a last-ditch play, trying to get the Fire Giant with just Derps and Marquis.
Oh no!
And the Fire Giant almost getting the double kill. The Fire Giant just double-killed Blitz. The Fire Giant just double-killed Blitz. What is
Fire
going
Giant,
on?
best teammate. Fire Giant, best teammate. That is why he's getting an award next patch. Only reason. Like, this game is that only reason. They knew this game was coming.
Loyal, please finish this game. This is getting a little bit farcical at this point. Anyway, Blitz. Yeah, Blitz is...
Oh, Bunny.
Actually, Loyal, yeah. Loyal could just fully assert their will. This tier 2 tower is going to go down. Blitz needs to take some hard lessons from this set. They haven't been able to really work together in terms of picks or play. I feel like there might be a little bit of dissent in the ranks, possibly. Of course, we need to actually talk to them to confirm that, but there has been a very laissez-faire attitude for SEA. You know, SEA is, you know, we joke about it and that kind of thing. I mean, even in the interview today, Bill, apart from that weird screaming thing he did talk about how one game they didn't even realize it was a proper game. So maybe there's a divide between some teams taking this seriously and some teams taking a more relaxed attitude to it, and it's punishing them hard.
Yeah, I mean, we do have to hit this home. This is a very new scene. We are in Split 2 currently. Not Season 2, Split 2. This is the second split that they've had. We've not even been doing this for a year. Ninja Dubs, though, already dead. Apex going to hit him with a bird bomb. Marquis going to look for the steal, jumping over the wall. Not quite going to get knocked up. Looking for the damage, trying to steal it. Who's going to get it, though? Loyal takes it. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do that. Marquis falls down to 6. So Toxie is going to be dying as well. And now Bunny's the only one left. Never mind. Yuki's over in the duo lane, and he's probably going to be recalling pretty quickly.
Yeah, they really could have used the damage that a Freya could put out. Yeah, it's a Freya that's significantly behind, but the Valkyrie's Discretion can still do a ton of AoE damage. Maybe going to help try and secure Fire Giant, but alas, Loyal's going to get it nice and handily. Going to get the tier 2 in the solo side, nice and handily. And they're about to get the Phoenix and possibly their second win, nice and handily.
Yep, indeed. It's currently 25-7. Yuki gonna go up into that Valkyries. Ninja Dubs finishing off Eclipse, actually. That's a big win for them, at least taking the solo lane around. Nice knockup from Bilbo, using the Bracer Run doing to keep Ninja Dubs alive a little bit longer. He is actually going to be able to get out as Apex falls down to the ground. This is looking like an exact replay of last time, as Bill's running away from the rest of the team.
Blitz have a little bit of a reprieve. Loyal gonna use the
Oh, the wall!
The wall! The wall from Hosey is fantastic, but Loyal's gonna turn it around anyway. They've got reinforcements. Seek gets the first kill. Loyal did lose 2 people in the meantime. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Make that a 3-for-1 trade. Make that 3-for-2. Blitz trying to fight back as hard as they can, but no! Hidden Cammy, best Cammy, gets a snipe from inside the blue buff walls. Hosey on his own. The last hunt deployed by Seek is gonna hunting down his next meal. But the jukes from Hosey, how is he not dead yet? He uses the brace. This is getting... Loyal, please just kill him.
Oh,
Please,
Kami missed the invasion punish, but finally 6 gonna get, I think that's an unofficial triple or quad. I'm not entirely sure.
Unofficial triple, I believe.
Yeah, I want to say it was an unofficial triple, sadly. I was hoping for the quad, but this is just looking over at this point. Then again, this is Southeast Asia, we never know. Loyal is...
We have seen comebacks in similar situations, but that happened during Season 1. I can't remember. Oh, sorry, Split 1. I can't remember off the top of my head which set it was, but there has been a comeback where a team was this far behind, you know, 13k XP, 11k gold, this far behind in territory as well. It has happened, and to be fair, Southeast Asia does have a habit of throwing games, to be, if we could keep this, you know, honest. So let's not discount Blitz just yet, but they are going to have to fight the hardest they have ever thought just to get a split.
Yeah, and I mean, look at Marky's build as well. He's not exactly going into a huge amount of trying to keep aliveness. So Eclipse, though, actually going to go for a nice ultimate there. Not going to be able to hit the Thoth ultimate. Looking for the hook slam. Not going to be able to find it, though Apex going to dive in.
Apex going to set up Cammy for the kill. They're trying to keep aliveness not strong there for Blitz. Apex gonna can't really do much here without the ultimate. Ninja Dubs trying to dish out the damage, but it's simply not enough. Sir Eclipse able to tank through almost the entire thing. The true damage from Marquis is much more effective though, but alas, Loyal's able to pick him off with a simple 1-2 punch. Hosey's going to get taken out, and Blitz trying to fight as much as they can. They're going to send Bunny back into base. He does not have his ultimate. He already deployed it during the fight. This is going to be just clinical for Loyal. They have enough damage. They have enough tankiness. This should be game.
Bunny.
Okay. That wasn't pretty. Just end the game now, please. You do not want to lose another opportunity. Yuki's up in 3 seconds.
Yeah, Yuki's going to be up looking for the banish. No, not going to be able to get it in time. 20 minutes, 15 seconds, 34-12. Loyal takes it pretty damn cleanly.
The only thing we could say there, really, we've got more games coming up, so let's do the one-word bookbinder for this. Blitz got completely blitzed. What was their composition? I've got to say, Wiz, if I had to give my one piece on that, Blitz have to shape up for next week. They can't be doing stuff like that. I wouldn't. This absolutely isn't on the same level as, say, like Envy versus Saw, you know, 600, Force Unders, blah, 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 blah. But you can't be doing stuff like that. They had a good shot. They tried for the cheese comp, and it didn't work out. They've got to do things that are a lot more sensible.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand that these could be some pocket picks that we may not know about. It just didn't look like it, other than the Bacchasaur. The Bacchasaur actually worked out surprisingly well. I might want to see Marquis on it a little bit more, but even then, that build is a little bit questionable to me. Although it's sort of not, because again, you need the Fatalis, you need the Iqbal, and the Silver Branch Bow was because he was up against the Thoth in the mid lane, and there was Ganesh there as well. It only makes sense to do that. But you're going for penetration, and penetration doesn't matter.
To put an asterisk there, I think Marquis had to do that style of build.
Yeah, like, I agree. I think it's sort of necessary, but it's just...
mainly because of the true damage,
build.
I'd say, Wiz. I disagree with you somewhat. I think the true damage was required for the extra attack speed to enhance the true damage because they were so far behind. So I understand where you're coming from, Wiz.
Yeah.
Marquis was the only saving grace there for Blitz during that last match. You saw when he ulted, the true damage was doing so much work.
Yeah, but you can also go and have a look at the player damage. It actually looks like Bunny was doing a huge amount of work in this team fight with the most player damage on his team by far. However, he wasn't participating in many kills, or if he was getting player damage, it wasn't enough to get the kills. Meanwhile,
yeah,
though,
it was the big ult that wasn't getting anything.
Just look at Bill. It's 0-4 and 25. Perfect Ganesh play. That's exactly what you need to see from a Ganesh, especially in 34 kills. Like, normally you don't expect to get too many. 25, though, is a pretty decent amount. Wasn't solo at one point, didn't get a double kill with his one, which I think we've seen twice in 2 games. So, And
that can actually feed to the other characters because of Ganesh's passive of feeding kills to someone nearby.
Yeah, so he's been doing a lot better in this sort of support role. He's doing what he needs to. Meanwhile, Kira on Emir just didn't feel impactful.
That's an unfortunate way to close it out for Blitz. They are probably feeling rather devastated after that. I hope they can pick themselves back off the floor for next week. But we do have more games to go. We have 2 more sets. This is the Friday, so we do 3 games today. It is going to be Team Viral, the top contenders in the standings, versus Get On My Level, the Chinese veterans. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes, about 5 minutes or so, and we'll bring you the second set of the day. Second set of the day coming your way. Team Viral, the top of the standings, versus Get On My Level, a team who currently only has one win to their one tie to their name, looking to try and get themselves out of a similar position Orphan Squad is in. They do have the players for it. They have a couple of veterans, but so far, Viral has been nigh unkillable. They've been bled a few times in a couple of matches. They've taken some scuffs, but Viral have been just plowing their way through Southeast Asia.
Yeah, and also, unfortunately, for Get On My Level, we do actually see a couple of subs for this game. So it looks like Bling Bling Shan and Ashu are going to be subbing in for the side of Get On My Level. So, Bling is apparently actually on main roster. I haven't actually seen him then, though, but Ashu is... I've not seen him yet either, so we'll have to see exactly how they can perform.
This is what happens when the wikis unfortunately get taken offline. Shout out to the wikis.
Yeah.
Hopefully they actually get their stuff sorted out. So, with that taken into account, hopefully Get On My Level can adjust accordingly and get their draft online, because you do have to adjust your pick bands with the new player's taste. You can't go for any kind of wacky synergies because you don't have that rapport built with your teams. You may not necessarily even trust them to do the things you want them to do, so go with something a bit more basic and simple might be the strat for Get On My Level, as they will lock in the Susano for their first jungle after Viral secure the Bologna, I imagine, for Noctis Poi.
Yeah, and the Ganesh is available. Actually, instead going to go for the Terror. So, could be something that maybe they just prefer playing with. They know that they can get out with it. They can do a decent amount of supporting with it. Yet, that does leave it open for Viral if they really want to. However, they're going to be locking in a Cupid.
Cupid is a character we've seen a decent bit around Southeast Asia. The cripple is nice, and even more cripple being provided by Poseidon. That's going to be going to Rampage. Rampage loves his Poseidon. But that cripple is going to be a humongous pain for Susano just in general, and Terra will be able to actually use any of her secondary functions on her various obelisks if she can't dash. So that's going to be a nice pickup there for Viral. But Get On My Level have Sol drafted now, as we're going into the second stage of picks and bans. That's going to be a nice solo laner or carry. I imagine solo, you don't see Sol too much in the duo lane these days.
Yeah, and I mean, she is actually surprisingly good in the mid lane, more because of her objective control. It doesn't sound like she has fantastic objective control when you look at it. She's an in-hand mage, she shouldn't be doing too much. Yet, because of her ultimate, it has a ridiculous amount of scaling. It does insane levels of damage. I think you can get an easy 1000k on it very early on. Well, no, not 1000k, 1k on it very early on.
But does it have more scaling than Sylvanas' ultimate?
I believe it does. I'm pretty sure it does.
Shout out to Ataraxia. Nice. Nemesis.
Yeah.
Oh, Nemesis is actually very interesting here. So, Pop Quiz, Racken Zero, has played Nemesis 3 times during this split, I believe. 3 or 2. Though both of those times he has got either first or second place in the damage charts. Racken Zero is deadly on this Nemesis, and he's going up against characters who, in case of Terra, is going to have our protections just completely annihilated. And for Susano, Rama, and Sol, they're going to get slowed into oblivion. The Hercules is going to be rounding out the composition. That's going to be probably solo or support. They can swap Noctis and noob around where they want.
Yeah, I think this is most likely going to be a Bologna support, though. You usually see that one rather than the Hercules support, just because Hercules has a much better surviving in the solo lane. It depends, like, I'm not sure exactly which one I would say to go around, but from the looks of it, if we get into game, I believe that is a Hercules solo. Yeah, it is indeed a Hercules solo. It is.
So, I've got to say, we were a bit unsure because Viral love doing player swaps. That's something which is rather unique to them. Archipelago have done it once or twice, and so have Orphan Squad, but Viral adore the player swap style of play, where they'll go, okay, first set, we'll send Noob over to this area, and we'll have Rampage sit in the mid. Then for next game, and they'll say, alright, Shiz is now the mid laner, Rampage is the carry, let's see if the enemy can adapt. It can really throw off the enemy's game if they're trying to think at that level of, alright, let's play to the specific player and not the god, because you're having to switch your playstyle around every other game.
Yeah, and I mean, Shiz also has a lot of starts that he can do. You can actually see he's gone into a Bumba's Mask early, so he can try and get this sort of early level 1 buff, potentially. Looking for the fast clear, going into that. Meanwhile, on the side and get my level, they're actually going to be starting at the buff straight away anyway. I'm a little bit surprised. I would have thought that maybe they would have been slightly better. Instead, they just really want to secure this red buff. Poseidon as well also going to be starting at the red buff himself, just again wanting to make sure that no one gets these invades. Problem is, if everybody's not doing this, no one's going to be invading anyway.
And Viral's going to get the better end of the deal in the duo, but Get On My Level are going to get the better end of their deal in the mid, because both of those lanes have decided to push heavily. So now when the teams start beating around the jungle camps at both this right side of the speed and left side of the purple, violence is going to happen.
Yeah, Shiz is taking a lot of damage from Astro already. Going to be hit by one of the Astral arrows, slowed down a little bit, already on half HP, forced to use a health pot. This is looking a little bit worse for Viral than you were expecting, just because they've gone in. But mid lane, though, the noobs already are nearly dead.
And so was Bling Bling. He managed to get away by the skin of his teeth, popping the Aegis and then Disapparate to just get out of there. Both of these teams are cutting it so close, so many times, in so many places on the map, and we're only like a minute and 18 seconds in.
I guess I'm going to have to keep a close eye on some of these HP bars, because they can go down in a flash on a lot of these different scenarios. Notice, though, that Rampage hasn't actually gone and taken out this red buff yet. He only took out the small minion, so he's not quite able to do it just yet. Although duo lane, Noctis and Shiz are in a bit of a scary position.
Yeah, Noctis and Shiz are going to have to watch where they step, because if Ringo gets a good stun, Ashu can deliver a surprising amount of damage in a surprising amount of time. Heart Bomb, though, is going to go onto Ashu instead. Beads to avoid the Mesmerize, but a single auto attack threaded through the minions results in the first blood going to Viral.
That was just such a perfect Cupid play coming out from Shiz, doing so much damage with that Heart Bomb. Then, unfortunately for Ashu, actually using the Purification a little bit earlier than he thought he needed to, and just paying the price. So now Viral are going to be getting that first blood, especially onto a Cupid, which you don't want to see. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this red buff... No, it is going to go to Rampage. We've seen the sort of rise and shine and fall of giving the red buff to the ADC. It's happened a lot, and we do still see it every now and again, but a lot of the successful teams, especially in Southeast Asia, are now sort of giving it back to the mid lane to try and get that early pressure there.
Yeah, the mid pressure has been one of the biggest talking points. Like, how much do you apply it in Southeast Asia? Because Southeast Asia loves to try and brawl and fight. If you can control that mid passage through the map, you either A, force the enemy to walk through your territory and take a huge bit of damage in the process if you're there, or B, they have to go back through their jungle and path and a longer route, which can give you a bit more time to react to things depending on where you've got wards.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit careful for them. Yet it also means on the side of the red buff, it allows you to actually keep a little bit longer in the ADC. You don't have to worry too much about losing your lane. You can move the support out, put him in the mid lane as well, and then just get a really good amount of damage. Trevor, gotta be careful, did get caught out just trying to rotate into the duo lane. Fortunately, though, for him, he's too far away for Raccoon to really start using his combo of the Nem ultimate into all of his slows. But yeah, I just don't expect another kill for a while. That first one was fantastic, yet it was a little bit of a fluke, I'd say.
Yeah, we're seeing lots of general skirmishes and fighting in every lane at this point, and jungles to boot. But there's going to be not a lot of actual deaths happening for a little while, unless there's a critical mispositioning by either team, because both of these teams are playing a little bit hesitant. They're taking buffs, they're taking the buff steals, I should say, when they know they're safe. You know, see here, Team Viral, they're stealing the speed buff, but they have enough time to get back to space safely. In the lanes, they're trading it out. Both teams have more than enough sustain to keep themselves. Oh, they're going to try for a move here on to Get On My Level, the player, not the team. He gets away with the CC immunity, but the Excavate, no, it bounced off the tower, but Noob's able to pick it up anyway. But the tower itself allows Get On My Level to get a trade onto Racket Zero.
Yeah, now Traveler going to be finding the Noob. This is a guaranteed death. Typhoon going up, Bling Bling is going to take the kill credit, and now Rampage, forced to run away, is actually going to meet Ringo in the mid lane and just walk away. Ringo sees him, thinks, yeah, I'll pass. I'll pass for now, instead of going for the fire elementals with Bling Bling here, just to try and make sure they get more XP. They've got they've got a decent amount. They've not done too badly. If we go quick look at the graphs, we are 5 minutes in, and this gold lead is very negligible, but it is still there. It's about 1,000, about the same for XP as well. This is such a small difference that it doesn't matter. Yet there is still that lead for Viral. And if Viral can hold on to that lead and say, okay, we're going to take this lead and we're going to shove it in your face. You're going to make sure that you're not going to be able to get any more XP. We're going to take the Oracles, we're going to be taking the Fire Elementals until the Portal Demon comes up, and we're going to shove you on the tower so you're taking less gold than normal. Just try and keep that lead up, try and keep the pressure going. This could very easily go Viral's way unless Get On My Level can do something.
And not only that, I'm going to continue the shoving metaphor here, Wiz. There has been a lot of times where Team Viral, because they can take objectives this fast and this safely, Get On My Level has to start moving further and further afield because Viral keeps shoving the opportunities to get safe farm further and further away. So Get On My Level has to get a bit more riskier. They have to start looking for maybe unsafe ganks. We're going to see here Trevorlo was thinking about Noob. Now he's going to go back in. They're still communicating about it, but the immediate rotation from Viral, Trevorlo walked over a water. Rakanzera is there immediately to respond, and because of that, the gank is going to be warded off. And unfortunately for Trevor, who's already behind a level on his opposing jungler, is just wasting more time when he could be getting more farm here.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of pros talk about this sort of thing of you should never be sitting idle. If you aren't able to go for a gank, you should be looking for a buff. If you're not able to look for a buff, you should be looking for an invade. If you're not looking for an invade, you should be looking for objectives. If you're not looking for objectives, then what the hell are you doing?
Even just actually duo lane, we'll talk about that in a moment. She's going to be aggressed on by the Ram arrows, plus the rest of Get On My Level. They just charge through the jungle. Blink gets the kill credit. Team Viral
nice
still on the back foot. Ringo gets a stun to give a little bit of time, but Get On My Level needs to turn back around and help their support. No, they just left Terra for dead. She goes 6 foot under. Team Viral take the 1-for-1 trade, and they could look for some more violence here at the red buff, but Get On My Level immediately disperse.
Yeah, they really don't want to stay. Unfortunately, Ashu's on under half HP. He also has no ultimate. He won't live that long. Bling Bling forced to go into the disapparate form as well, really just needing to get out of this position because there's so many members of Team Viral here, and although they don't have much hard CC, they've got a lot of slows and a lot of pressure if you get caught out. You really just need to be using that. Luckily, though, the disapparate, although it doesn't have that slow immunity anymore, it should be able to do a decent amount.
Team Viral now in an okay position for themselves. They've lost the immediate momentum blitzkrieg advantage, but they're starting to take a more steady approach instead. They're taking fights here in their mid lane here. They're going to actually lose the mid laner. Fantastic stun strike combo. That was what you were talking about earlier on, Wiz. The heavy damage that can be applied by Sol's ultimate is absolutely nasty against a stationary target, like an objective, or in this case, a stunned Poseidon.
Yeah, now the noob as well. Got to be careful. Get My Level, unfortunately, not going to be able to find the whirlwind with Rigid Steel onto him, but he's dashing away as well. Nemesis is nearby, but it's not going to be close enough as the Typhoon finishes noob off.
Why the frenzy? Okay, Get On My Level really wanted that kill. There was multiple ultimates burned there that maybe were unnecessary. We also saw some relics, but Get On My Level get something, and they're going to start trying to pull themselves ahead here. They're ahead in the kills, and they've just reset the golden XP deficit back to a neutral, and they're looking to fight even more. They need to protect Bling Bling here. Rakanzera burn the ultimate. Noctis Boy trying to find it. Meanwhile, off-screen Shiz goes down. Back to hit the Fire Giant pit. Ringo trying to protect his team. Get On My Level's mid lane has gotten out. Their jungler is going to be able to get out, courtesy of the Terra's blessing, and Ringo is still hanging around. If he gets a little bit too aggressive, he's going to end up getting picked off again, but he takes the smart option and regroups with his team.
Yeah, Ringo has been getting some fantastic double stuns on. It doesn't sound like it should be a huge deal, but it's actually saving him and saving a lot of his teammates. Trevor, though, just went in real hard, and unfortunately, he didn't get too much, at least not as much as he thought of. The Soul Steroid Burst is going to come out. Unfortunately, though, too far away for anyone on Team Viral to fall to it.
Team Viral... And I'm going to be feeling a little bit like, what just happened, guys? We were doing really well, and now Get On My Level is starting to push back pretty darn well. They're actually going to be able to secure at least Oracles, maybe even a Gold Fury if they get really greedy, but Rampage, of course, is hanging around, so that's going to make that particular ask a bit too high. And now the rest of Viral's here. This is going to be a full-on brawl around the Gold Fury pits.
Yeah, Nox's boy is already nearly dead, though. Chased down by Trevor, looking for it. Realm Ultimate going to come through, not going to be able to find enough hits to be able to secure that. Stun going to come out from Shiz, that's going to finish off. It looked like Trevor was going to be finished off. Nox's boy does fall to Ringo as well, though. Ringo trying to get away, has used his dashes already. Raccoon going to be finishing off with the last doubled hit of that dash, and now Bling Bling just got to get away. He has very little mana. Get My Level is nowhere nearby, and Ashu just does not have the damage yet.
Solo lane. While this has all been going on, Wiz, Get On My Level is being aggressed on again, and now there's fighting on the duo lane side as well. Viral is looking for blood after those little downfalls earlier on. The purple buff, I think, was just stolen there by Rakan Zero. Does he get it? No, Ashu was able to get it in time.
Yeah, it went to Ashu, so luckily he's going to be able to get away just a little bit. Shiz, though, is going to put more pressure onto this tier 1 tower. Although it's not going to be a huge amount of pressure, it's going to be enough to try and make sure that Ashu can't go anywhere. Meanwhile, Shiz is going to go back. He's going to be looking to get the Shifter's Shield. Finally finish it off, as Ashu's going to go back as well and finish his own off. They're very even right now, but Viral just feel like they have more pressure, even though the gold lead and XP are very narrowly in their favor. And, I mean, the gold difference is now going in favor of Get My Level. Never mind, it's back on Viral. That's how close this is.
Yeah, this has been the first game today where it's been truly dead even, and that's really nice to see. We're seeing a completely different style of Southeast Asian Smite that isn't just the lol purest form of Smite, isn't this so silly? And this is coming from Get On My Level, a team which just have some veteran players, but they're going against a team of Viral, which has a bit more cohesion to it, a lot more synergy. They won the last split during the playoffs, and that Viral have put themselves into a good enough position where they're probably even locked in for playoffs in an extra week or two, should they keep up this performance. And Get On My Level is hanging with them and even beating them in some regards. This has been the first true test of Viral this split.
Yeah, it really has, though. Bling Bling using the Disapparate to get away. The Terror Ultimate use as well. Not going to be able to find the stun with the walls. And looks like they're just going to back off here. Gold Fury is up for grabs. Shiz, though, going to be very low on HP. Ashu looking for the snipes. Hits one, but Aegis looking for the both. Is actually going to find them. Trevor are going to be able to finish him off.
That was a fantastic bit of communication there from Get On My Level. Ashu trying to get the snipes, wait, and meanwhile calls for Trevor for the alley-oop, gets it successfully. Now Trevor, speaking of the devil, might get alley-ooped himself. Kraken going to be used the setup for Rakan Zero to get the kill. Bling Bling, Aegis used. Frenzy going to be popped by Viral as well. They're still going to consider going for a fight here. Bling Bling is incredibly low, but no one can really safely grab him and get out unless they dedicate a lot of resources. So Viral's going to instead split up and, oh no, Noctis Boy tried for something, but Bling Bling was able to heal up too much from the burn, his one, so alas, nothing really happens there.
Yeah, now Noctis has got to be a little bit careful here, taking quite a bit of damage from that percentage HP Get On My Level does put out. Again, just though, as soon as they go into a fight, they do a decent amount of damage, maybe 1 or 2 kills happen, and they back away again. They know the extension of their lead, they know the extension of their power, so they're playing this incredibly safely. Again, Oracle's going to the side of Team Viral to make sure they have vision on that Gold Fury, just in case Get My Level try and do it. They can very easily burst something like that down, but Viral can also very easily contest it.
Yeah, they've got the Cripple Field, they've got the Kraken, as well as Gommel has the Sunstrikes, the ult, the Ram ult, and also to an extent the Tornado does a good bit of damage as well. So both of these teams' potential for objective contention is so high, they have to play this passively and keep each other at sort of sword's length for the time being until one of them makes a mistake and the other team just immediately jumps on it.
Yeah, you've just got to be so careful right now. Also, nice little thing from Shiz, he was going to go back, yet he noticed that he was on his own in his little half of the jungle, and that there could be a lot of players that Get My Level around. In reality, there were actually 4. He probably only knew about 2 of them at best. He was thinking, oh, they might go for a Gold Fury, and no one on the side of my team is going to be able to stop them. I need to stay for a little bit longer, just in case.
And Team Viral now are going to be the ones that are grouping up around the Gold Fury. Teleport as well from the noob is going to reinforce. Trevor is in the mid, and Get On My Level are a bit too far back in their own jungle, as Get On My Level, the player, not the team, is currently sat in the Chaos base. Gold Fury being contested here. Viral will get it successfully, courtesy of the Kraken, and now Viral are going to look for some player blood as well as the Gold Furies. Ringo, Get On My Level, aggressively going into Viral's backline. Rampage low. Sunstrike from Blink claims the life of Rampage, looking for some more Cyclone use. The actual counterattack She's able to get the first blood there for Viral, and this is a 1-for-1 trade now. Get on my level, try and take out so many players on Viral that are so low. They get Noctis. Rakken's up next. Reflex needs to try and heal himself up, and now Team Viral can look to try and egress himself as Noob pushes Bling Bling on the tower. Get on my level, the player of the team trying to help as much as they can as Ringo dies as well. Get on my level, now down it's a 2 versus 3. This went from Viral getting the Gold Fury to Get on my level getting a fantastic attack. Ashu almost dies to a heart bomb. Get on my level falls as well. It's an absolute disaster for Get on my level.
But it's only 10-10. It's only 10-10.
That doesn't tell the story, Wiz. Look at the graphs and look at the map position.
No, it does mean that finally Viral are starting to get this lead, especially with that Gold Fury. The Pulse of Doom is going to go down as well, taking them an even higher lead. And they're definitely starting to put a lot more pressure out. They still have yet to take down this tier 1 tower though. Because of that, the pressure isn't going to be as great as it could be. Get My Level can still contest a lot of things. Portal Demon is going to help Viral, but it's not going to be going for the call of let's do Fire Giant, let's go push, because they still are so even. Although the net worth is starting to look just generally in favor of Viral, as if you go and have a quick look at it, you can see most of those blue numbers are right at the top. It's only narrowly like that, though.
Yeah, that kind of lead will fall away so fast in this kind of scenario. Viral have been able to get themselves a little bit of a foothold now after a couple of really good fights. And objective control, too. They're starting to grab them a bit more consistently. They got the Portal Demon. Fire Giant is going to be a bit too risky or a bit too big of a meal put on Viral's proverbial plate. So they're going to keep things a bit more civil for the time being. They're going to go back, take camps, and force Get on my level to make the play instead until Viral are feeling comfortable enough to where they can start aggressing into Get on my level's jungle.
Yeah, also back into that little team fight, I've got to say, shout out to the Noob. He really brought that back for Viral. We're going for a double Earthbreaker into the Driving Strike, which then let it go into the Fields of Love, so that Shiz could just decimate the rest to Get my level. It absolutely wiped them, and that was the only reason that Viral actually stayed safe. Although Get my level, the name not the person, gonna be dead.
So gonna be a name on a tombstone. Team Viral dumping 3 ultimates there, and sorry, 2 ultimates, excuse me. And now they're going to be looking for a 3rd victim of being the tower. This is going to be successful. Get on my level, though. They see this, and they're going to start attacking the mid. I like this. I love this. So many teams in Southeast Asia don't get the stuff after the stuff. And that's what you need to be. You need to be proactive when the enemy is giving you a little bit of room to work with, and Get on my level, take it. And because of it, it's practically an even trade.
Noob. Noob's going to get a beautiful Dragon Strike into the wall there. Looking forward, he can actually forcing the Terror Ultimate there. That's exactly what he needed to do. Get them away from the tier 2 and actually force an ultimate off of them as well. I believe Purification may have even been used from Soul. Yeah, it's down.
Yeah, that's going to be used. That is going to be sucky for them because Blitz has been relying on, sorry, Bling has been relying on the Aegis primarily to stop damage, and then Beads is a precautionary, oh, I've been stuck by the Kraken, Beads, then Aegis. If the Beads is gone, Bling has to preempt those attacks and then use the Disapparate, and sometimes that's just not possible when Team Viral can burst you within what feels like a femtosecond when you're playing, because the Nemesis ult strips your protections, immediate Kraken, oh, I'm dead.
And I mean, just to make it worse, a lot of people aren't picking it up now, but Sunder is in this game. Nemesis is using it, and it's up and again in about another 30 seconds. It's been doing a lot of work. The only reason we actually saw Get on my level just get absolutely destroyed by it. Oh yeah, dual lane.
5-man rotation onto Shiz. They do not want any of Cupid's nonsense. Shiz is, no, he's going to be ritual sacrifice. Too many ultimates were blown there. But Team Viral, they need to take something here. They have a golden opportunity. Everyone on the opposing team is taking their tier 1. Tier 1 isn't the worst thing in the world to lose. They're going to send Nubo with a via teleport to contest and just be a presence for their team, while Team Viral are going to surge up the mid lane. They just took the tier 1 and they're threatening to take the tier 2.
Yeah, the rest of Get my level, though, are running towards them, knowing that it could be done. Actually, Gold Fury is going to be coming out soon as they take out the Oracle, since they know Team Viral's not staying. So that's going to be a big thing, getting the vision. Gold Fury has literally just come up, but the rest of Viral are here to contend it.
Yeah, they're going to keep themselves at arm's length for the time being. Neither team really wants to go in at this point. You know, the game is still somewhat even. Yes, Viral has the 4k XP, 3k gold, but Get On My Level has shown they will counterpunch as well as they can dodge. Team Viral are starting to show that as well. We just saw that with that mid-take. So both of these teams, again, we're going back into this very counter-attacky, okay, cage for a bit, 1-2, go back. Take an objective here, take an objective there. And because of that, Wiz, I don't expect either team to go really crazy and go for like a pentakill into 3 objectives just after the respawn time has come up, because neither team wants to give the enemy the rope to hang them with.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a tight game currently. There's very little in between both of these teams. And there's a lot of interesting builds coming out, actually. If we go and have a look at the Cupid build very quickly, you can see he's gone from a Ninja Tabai into Shifter's Shield into Odysseus' Bow. I feel like this is an Ataraxia build. Gold Fury, though, goes to Get On My Level.
Get On My Level successfully grabbed that off the attempt, and now they're going to have to force themselves backwards. Like the counterattack from Viral is even better. They're at risk of losing some people. Get On My Level are going to disperse, though, in a good way. They send off their jungler to the left side. He will get spotted out, so they may actually end up losing him. But the junglers in Southeast Asia are basically just catch the pigeon at the most point. Every team's jungler feels like they just send them out to die to get the rest of the team's carries and mid laners out of there.
That wasn't catch the pigeon. That was smash the pigeon into the wall using Driving Strike from Hercules. The Sprint's going to come out looking for the Driving Strike yet again. Going on to Bling Bang is actually going to be able to get the boulder off. But in the backline, Get On My Level's trying to do what he can on iRampage.
Get On My Level, the player not the team, trying to get himself out of danger. The rest of the team isn't immediate there to follow up, so he has to retreat. Ashu goes up for the Astral Arrows. 1, 2... Third isn't successful. He has to retreat back behind his front line. The front line's just been hit by the Nemesis ultimate. Ringo has returned to try and assist where he can, but Team Viral is being ground down because of the war of attrition. Get On My Level has much superior team healing. Cupid versus Terra, they're still going at it. Racket Zero incredibly low. Noob drops to Bling Blang. Get On My Level still out of one of their supports. Ringo is so close to death, he might die to minions if he's not careful. And Team Viral are just going to keep retreating. Neither of these teams really want to, again, go in. We're back to that same mentality, Wiz. Both of these teams don't want to really commit after the initial skirmish.
Well, the biggest thing that happened there was the noob tried to get a Driving Strike into the wall to try and turn that team fight into Viral's favor, and it would have happened. But he just misses it. It was like a millimeter he missed it by, and that cost him so dearly, as that actually put him down and also let Get My Level start chasing back onto Viral. Made sure that Viral couldn't go anywhere. They had to just keep on retreating, and now Portal Demon and Speed Buff went the way of Get My Level, the team not the player, just because of the fact that he didn't get that Driving Strike.
Noob has been really on point with those driving strikes. You keep talking about them. He has been securing so many kills off the... Oh, no, Get On My Level. Need to be careful here. Now the team needs to be careful, actually. Bling Blang here with the Nemesis ultimate. All relics popped for Bling Blang, but alas, it's not enough for him. Rampage gets the kill credit. And team... Okay, I hope Get On My Level has told Trevor to not go through the portal. Okay, good. Don't go through, because that is a horrendous trap.
Yeah, but Fire Giant is now going to be started. Now it could actually be a good time to go through the portal. Doesn't matter, though. Everyone's ready. Bling Bling dead for 34 seconds, though. Get On My Level just really needed him to try and do anything here. They are going to be able to get Trevor Lowe nearby.
Excellent.
Get On My Level, stall it! They're going to go for it! Get On My Level, the team, not the player, not the name, going to use the Whirlwind of Rage and Steel, but it's not going to be able to find anyone. Shiz going to try and go for Ashy, looking for Get On My Level instead, as the rest of him just dance away. Now, Viral
Get On My Level just robbed the bank, Wiz. They need to leave right now. They can't stay and fight any.
They're doing it pretty well. Although there are only 3 people alive, all 3 of them have actually stayed alive. And now suddenly Viral just no idea what to do. That really should not have just happened. And Ringo trying to go in, doing what he can. Ashu, though, a little bit of a safe, bad place.
Ashu got hit with the driving strike. The Cupid bomber hits just after the Aegis goes down, allowing Racken Zero to clean that up. Carry is down for Get On My Level. Their jungler is respawning, but he's going to take a little while to trot out of base.
Oh, that root.
The rest to Get On My Level. Try to take out Rampage. The root was fantastic, but can they follow Rampage for multiple relics? The Kraken, there was no one right in the critical zone, so that's going to result in Get On My Level able to grab that because of no knockup. Speaking of Get On My Level, Whirlwind of Rage and Steel's good, allows them to pick up Shiz, and Get On My Level are now surging out. They were able to get the Fire Giant, and now they're able to surge back through the lane, get multiple picks after Team Viral botch some of their ultimates. They get a third kill onto Noob. Get on my level are in a darn good position here to get at least one Phoenix.
Graphs. Just look at the graphs, especially as this comes down. This is such an even game. We're 25 minutes in. We normally see Southeast Asia. I was actually talking about this on the Southeast Asian Discord with a couple of teams. Normally, most competitive games finish between 25 to 35 minutes. Southeast Asia is a little bit shorter sometimes, as Noctis just barely gets away and the Phoenix in the middle lane falls. But this one is starting to look like a proper sort of competitive game because it's starting to go a little bit longer. Both of these teams are incredibly even compared to the stomps that we saw last time round. You're not going to see a closer game, especially in something like a Southeast Asia. This could go on for another 30 minutes. We don't know. This is Southeast Asia we're talking about. They can throw and they can come back so much harder than you can even imagine sometimes.
Yeah, but to play devil's advocate there for a moment, Wiz, this is an extremely competitive game, but is it competitive because both of these teams are neck and neck, or is it competitive because Southeast Asia has kind of a chronic problem where they just don't know how to finish a good number of their games? It's really nice to see a game not be a complete stomp, but then the further we get into the game, we start going to the other end of that extreme, where it ends up being, okay, we're 60 minutes in, you and I have run out of drinks, our voices are getting hoarse, and neither team knows how to finish.
I've got a liter of water here. I am good for another 30 minutes. How about you? Have you...
Lucky you. My water bottle's almost gone.
Oh, well, I guess we're going to have to be waiting a little bit longer, but we are going to keep going into this game. The Fire Giant's down for quite some time. If we have a quick look, it's another 45 seconds to get my levels Fire Giant. As soon as that goes down, that's when Viral want to go in. They've got a lot of pressure though. This Portal team is going to be coming up about the same time as well. That's something that they may be considering, but Get On My Level can easily contest this. It's not a Viral have complete dominance over this map. It is actually the opposite. Get On My Level have a lot more dominance than they've realized because Viral just completely gave it all to them.
Yeah, that one misplay in the mid, Team Viral not able to land succinct ultimate time after time, resulting in Get On My Level with the superior sustain, can just charge through the backline of Viral, out attrition them, grind them down, and they got the Phoenix, they got the tier 2, they got the Phoenix, they got Fire Giant Steel before that happened. That map control is awfully deceptive as well, because now Get On My Level can grab the Portal Beam, and that's going to be a big uptick in tempo for them, because Get On My Level can immediately pop through and start the Fire Giant.
Oh,
but Team Viral, smell this!
He stole it!
It's good! Yes, I love that! Viral, I should say, Team Viral are going to love that now. They're going to be patting Noob on the back because Get On My Level have just had a ginormous wedge shoved in their tempo. They can't go for that quick go style that Get On My Level love to do because they just had their one Portal Demon stolen.
Yeah, that's actually something that they really needed. Now suddenly they've got to sit back a little bit further because they realize that if they try and go for the Fire Giant, it's not going to work. There's a portal right behind them, and sure, is not a great idea to go to something like that, but it's also a fantastic idea at the same time if they're not paying attention. Suddenly Get On My Level have just lost their momentum. They can't go for these towers. They've just got to hope that maybe Viral get out of that mid lane and start to try a team fight, because then those minions can start pushing back down, getting that Phoenix down low. They've got another 2 or 3 minion waves left, I think. Probably more like 2 currently. And now the portal has closed. Fire Giant is up. Get On My Level really want to try and fight and keep them out of that mid lane.
Get On My Level have the superior positioning to start with. Noob is going to be taking the brunt of the damage from Get On My Level to start off, but he's Hercules, so he can heal that up nice and quickly. Viral going to take a more passive approach. They're just going to send Noob off to be the Vanguard while Viral get the rest of the jungle camps, get some levels, and they're going to engage on Trevor instead. They pop the Nemesis ultimate, but Rakan can't follow up, and now they're going to get followed up on inside the tier 2 tower. Inside of it, Shiz pops the Aegis. Rakan Zero trying to be the Vanguard for him. Up goes Ashu. 1 strike misses, 2nd strike misses, 3rd strike hits. The blink from Trevor. He's back with a vengeance. Kills off Shiz. Get On My Level. 1-0 on the trade. Can they get some more, though?
Ooh. Yeah, beautiful hook slam followed by the Typhoon as well. Get My Level just taking so much damage, but Bling Bling and Ringo are on their own in front of this tier 1 tower. The Fire Giant has been started. Looks like the noob did save his middle lane. Phoenix is now that lane of minions coming down is not a fire minion. It is safe, but the Fire Giant goes the way of Get My Level. Noctis Poi tried to use the Eagle Rally to secure it, but unfortunately not going to happen, and now he's going to pay the price of his life. Hook Slam actually missing Noctis just there. That could be a little bit longer that Get My Level really don't need. They need to be taking out this tower, and unfortunately they're just chasing Noctis instead.
Although it does have a nice benefit, Noctis has been a ginormous pain in the backside for them in a lot of these fights with the scaling damage of the bludgeon. Yes, he's gone for the support build, but Bologna can still be pretty punchy if she dives into your backline and then gets the 3 or 4 collisions with the bludgeon. But unfortunately for Viral, that little delay isn't enough. Get My Level is going to secure themselves the mid Phoenix again. They're going to look for the tier 2 in the left side, and it's going to be very hard for Viral to contest, because they're going to be on the back foot, but one good cripple is going to burn so many relics on Get My Level, and Get My Level opt to instead go for the Go Fury, go for something a bit safer.
Yeah, I mean, look how many Aegises that there are on the side of Get My Level. That means that any sort of big amounts of damage like the Kraken is just going to be immune. Fields of Love, same thing. I mean, even if Ringo gets caught, he's still got that Brace of Undoing to heal himself back up straight to near full HP. It probably won't be quite that much, but it's still going to be a decent amount, keeping him busy, especially with that Monolith healing as well. It's going to make it a lot more painful to kill him and any one of his teammates nearby. He's also got that girl Lamite, which means that if they do go in and Viral decide to try and defend this tier 2 tower on the left hand side, or maybe even one of the Phoenixes if Get My Level get that far, then suddenly that Girdle Might can be popped, the Phoenix can be blown up, and then they can start focusing on the team of Viral as well. And unfortunately, Viral don't have a huge amount to answer back to that unless Raccoon can find that combination using the Sunder and the ultimate to basically destroy anyone.
Yeah, Rakan Zero's ultimate, the Judgment, is going to be the kicker in these fights for Viral. That protection shred is going to be so handy because 1, Get My Level is extremely tanky. 2, Ringo's already extremely tanky, and he's building Urchin stacks too, so the quicker you can shred 50% of those, the better. And the Bracer, so whoever Rakan chooses, Viral has to kill them immediately because that is going to be so much damage onto a single tanky target. It might shock Get My Level's offensive strategy out of its comfort zone.
Yeah, indeed, but it looks like the fight's going to be coming out. Ringo already having to use the dashing away. Raccoon's going to try and go in alongside the Bologna Eagles rally, but so much damage is going on. It looks like 2 of Viral are already dead.
And now it's going to be Viral on the back foot again. Get My Level. They're going to send Ashu up in the air to try and get some snipes. Noob running away, trying to get into the fountain. It's a 2 versus 5. And Get My Level are looking in prime position to take the first game in this split. That is going to be 1-0. Get My Level. Very surprising. Viral had a ginormous run for their money early on. They were threatening to take it back. But again, Viral, this is the first real time we've seen them vulnerable this split, Wiz.
Yeah, they've just been doing so well recently, and suddenly Get My Level came in and just ripped through them. I actually got to turn to the net worth just before the end of that game, and you could see that it was actually just the entire team of Get My Level was clearly above the rest of Viral in terms of gold. And that's just because of the fact that Get My Level had been doing a fantastic amount of take the Gold Fury, take the Fire Giant, take the Portal Demon, take the Tier 1, take the Tier 2, take the Phoenix even, and suddenly that gold lead that was basically nothing halfway through just ricocheted, and Get My Level just expanded that gold so much that unfortunately Viral couldn't answer back. The Fire Giants as well were a really big point, and although the noob did some fantastic steals on a couple of them, it just wasn't enough to keep going.
It definitely doesn't help that in a couple of those fights there was some questionable target selection, specifically during the fight after the Fire Giant steal in the mid. There were some moments where Noob threw his Excavate, then Rakan used his Judgment, then the next ult, then the next ult, then the next ult. There wasn't any cohesiveness in a couple of key fights. It was only a few times with Viral. Viral's usually on the ball when it comes to that kind of thing. But those couple of times where all Get On My Level needed to just shove their way through so much territory. And because of that, they just took the first win in this best of 2 set. We're going to whack about 5 minutes on the clock, and then we'll bring you the second game in this best of 2 set. Apologies for the extended break, everybody. The casters just needed a moment to get some new drinks, use the bathroom, all that fun stuff. But Get On My Level is 1-0 up in this best of 2 set. Viral looking to make the comeback and try and save this to be a split. Get On My Level could really do with these 3 points, though, by getting the second win.
Yeah, and especially getting them against Team Viral. It's not just getting 3 points, it's getting the scare tactics. Because who wants to try and face Get On My Level after this? If they destroy Team Viral in a 2-0, even though it was relatively close game 1, that still shows that Get On My Level is very near the top here, and they could very easily be contesting for some of these top places. But picks and bans have been coming through. We've got Norwegish and Circuit for the side of Get On My Level. They're really looking for some of these jungle bans. Meanwhile, Viral have banned out the Terror and the Cyrus, looking a little more normal, but definitely agreeing that Get On My the Terror was maybe a little bit of a misplay last time.
Yeah, the Terror didn't work out fantastically, but the sustain was really nice, so Viral, understandable they want to get rid of the Terror. Susano is going through, so that is going to be locked in for Trevor again. Trevor does love this Susano. He did okay with it last for Get On My Level, had some fantastic Cyclones during the last game, but Viral only has so many options to ban out early on, but they will manage to get Toth and Bologna through, so again, Noctis Poi or Noob can both pay Bologna. And, of course, Rampage is going to take the Thoth because he's the mid laner, and he loves his Thoth.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Fafnir being picked up, though. Again, we were talking about Ganesha in Game 1 and that he wasn't there, and it seems to be that neither of these teams actually like him. And I can understand that, because, again, he does have some weaknesses. He's not as strong as I think a lot of people feel he is. He's definitely incredibly good, especially in sort of casual games. But if you understand how to play against him, sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult. Colonel's locked in, as you said, though, and we've got a Ram again. A nice little decent trade-off. There's not a huge amount of stuff happening, not that much either, though. Jing Chan going to be banned out, Kepri banned out as well, and we actually see a Vulcan ban. Maybe Viral are thinking they're playing against Bunny.
I understand why we're seeing that happen, but at the same time, kind of a wasted ban, because, yeah, Bling Bling, maybe he has a good Vulcan, maybe we'll see something shenanigansy, but they could have maybe have gotten rid of Sol again. Or maybe they could have rid of Kurdanos. That is going to go to Ashu. Ganesh being eliminated by Get On My Level and the Kepri shows me they're trying to put Noctis Poi in a bit of a corner, and Amaterasu is going to get locked in. So Noctis Poi does have a lethal Amaterasu, but the Amaterasu does take a little while to get online, specifically for Viral, because they don't go for, okay, let's try and get our carry up fast. They try and use the mid lane snowball style instead. That's where it sort of trickled down was from Viral and to an extent Archipelago to the rest of Southeast Asia. So having the Amaterasu is nice. It will get you up to speed quickly, but someone who can compete with that speed is a Sun Wukong. First time we've seen him this split.
But we've got to also keep it in mind that this may not be an Amaterasu solo. This could very well easily be an Amaterasu support. Bologna, again, an easy support. We saw Noctis play it literally last game. Whether he wants to keep it going, though, because it didn't work out as well as I think he thought it would. So we'll have to see whether he really wants to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually goes into the solo lane, though, making this Amaterasu a little bit more difficult to play. But if he does get it, it could be a fantastic job for Viral. And yeah, as you can see, it is indeed a Amaterasu support.
So that speed aura is going to be really nice against really nice extremely to support the Bastet and get people in on Sol and Sun Wukong. That can get a very quick rollout and a very good getaway because they're both very fast characters. Kurdanos, of course, has the dash, but he can't be as fast as those two. And, of course, most of the action does happen around the mid lane for the first early parts, so it's going to be nice to have the aura. But Sun Wukong in the solo interests me because Get On My Level, the player, will rotate occasionally, but not too much. And Sun Wukong is a character that thrives on rotation-heavy play because, of course, he has the eagle form. So it kind of contradicts each other.
Yeah, I mean, I personally really don't like Sun Wukong in the solo lane. I don't think he brings anything, but that is my personal opinion. A lot of people do seem to find him pretty viable, especially since he is able to actually at least keep his own lane against anyone, especially someone like an Osiris or a Bellona. So that is at least some positive, yet I just don't feel like he provides enough. We'll have to see exactly what Get On My Level can do, because he could actually be incredibly good. You never know.
Yeah. An interesting point to consider as we're going to see the fight possibly happen on the left side here. Where's Ravon gone? He's kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, Wiz. Ringo might disappear off the face of the earth himself if he's not careful. He takes a decent bit of poke, has to retreat.
It's the same problem that Ganesh has, of if you go for him, you sort of accept that you don't have much CC. Shiz, though, taking quite a bit of damage in this duo lane yet again, forced to use another health pot, still taking even more poke damage from Ashu. He's just doing so much work that Get On My Level is taking so much pressure on the side of this duo lane.
Ringo and Ashu trying to keep themselves alive here, or keep themselves sustained, excuse me. They have better sustain in the long run because, of course, Kunanos has a natural heal and Ringo can use Coerce. Noctis Poi can heal himself with a stance switch, but Shiz is going to have to rely purely on pots and lifesteal from the Death Toll to keep himself nice and healthy. Gommel looking to give themselves a bit more vision as well. They will successfully grab themselves an Oracle, and they're going to look for a red buff on top of that.
However, it did get spotted out that they weren't doing red buff. It looks like iRampage doesn't particularly want to go for this as well. We haven't even talked about this. It's a Bastet jungle. We don't see this too much. Normally you see a sort of heavy CC god or heavy damage god, but Bastet doesn't provide either of those right now much.
Yeah, early game is being less and less emphasized as the time has gone on. Of course, Southeast Asia does like to buck the trend with meta, but for the most part, for the rest of the world, early game isn't being as emphasized. It's more mid-game poke. So Bastet can be nice in the mid, but she's primarily early game, stomp you, stomp you, stomp you, stomp you kind of god. So seeing Bastet come out, but not get immediately crazy, is going to be something to keep an eye on here, because Rakan Zero does love going off on these mid-game gods. We'll see how well he can actually translate that to Bastet as we get later and later into the game, where more and more CC from Get On My Level is going to be a factor.
Yeah, and I think the biggest problem as well is, this was quite a while ago at this point, but Catcall got a nerf, because a lot of pets got nerfs where they no longer provide... Well, they no longer remove the backdoor protections of towers, because again, most people who know this, most people who played SMITE know that whenever you take a minion towards a tower, it removes the backdoor protection and suddenly doubles your damage on the tower, or more, doesn't reduce it by half. Instead now, Catcall does not provide that, whereas it used to, so Bastet can't really do this sort of backdoor strategy that she used to be able to do. That
DJ Panicus.
Yeah, that suddenly meant that she was no longer doing what her biggest advantage was, and so you got to look for something else. A lot of people look to try and just get huge amounts of damage, especially using Hydra's Lament to be able to proc that consistently. The Bluestone Pendant also going to help. Yet Raccoon has
Get on my level. He's so low here. He goes down to the noob. They were trying to trade, but you don't try in 1 versus 1 a Bellona with her bludgeon out in the middle of her minion wave.
I've been keeping an eye on that lane. I didn't think it was going to happen because Get On My Level has been getting out narrowly every single time. Unfortunately, though, for the side of Get On My Level, the team, not the player, and the player actually as well, they just get first blooded because you do not fight a Bellona. She just has so much damage with the bludgeon, and if you do try and actually work on her, she's got that disarm from the Scourge to make sure that you can't really keep up.
There's something also to keep in mind. Not only does she do a ton of damage, yes, the Death Toll had that nerf to cleave auto attacks, but still, if you've got a good couple of minions to smack, that is going to give you way more sustain than the potion can simply provide.
Yeah,
and fighting inside of the wave there for Get On My Level was a little foolhardy.
I mean, not to mention as well, you're also having the entire wave starting to focus on you, which minions hurt. Archers do so much damage. They can easily do 200 to 300 HP if you don't kill them too fast. And Sun Wukong doesn't have fantastic clear. Like, yes, he can normally sometimes get the cudgel to one-shot them, but that's when he's level 9 or so, when he's got it to level 4, level 5.
Both ultimates traded out. Noob engaged on Get My Level as he was eagle forming away, but a simple use of the Somersault Cloud's going to get him a little bit more room to play with. But that clear, it can be a 50-50 toss-up. Either you get the one shot with the Cudgel, or you've got to go with the Warrior's Will as well, and that puts your risk. Left side here, though, Team Viral posturing up for an attack onto Ashu. Aegis used Kata scratching away at him. The bleed damage is good. Raccoon Zero is going to net himself the second kill for Viral, first kill on his personal tally. Ringo forced to use Draconic Corruption, but his teammate is too far up. 1 versus 4ing. The Typhoon forces out multiple Aegises. Ringo jumps on Raccoon Zero, so he can't follow up. Meanwhile, bling, bling, bang, bang with the Sunstrike eliminates Rampage. Raccoon Zero, meanwhile, forced you be on the back end of the frenzy, I should say. Bling, bling goes down to Raccoon Zero. Ringo and Trevor trying to get some more kills, but Ringo, unfortunately, is going to get stuck in the D-transformation.
Yeah, now Raccoon's on his own. There is actually Cardonos not too far away. He can't get out of this, really. Get My Levels trying to chase him down, unfortunately going the wrong way. He does have the 72 transformations if he wanted to use it. Instead, going to go back to his lane, try and make sure that the noob doesn't get as much pressure as he's been given currently. Unfortunately, though, I just don't think Get My Levels going to be able to get to lane in time.
Yeah, going to be unfortunate. Get My Level's going to lose a decent bit of farm off that. You know, level 7 versus level 9, that is not where you want to be as a Wukong, or now level 8. And being pressured under your own tower, Wukong loves to try and support his team where he's can with rotations, but you can't if you're having to sit in lane and just nurse your tower.
Oh, Get My Level!
And he almost dies! The Predict as well, using the flag to stun him. So many times now, Get My Level has been stopped mid-eagle form by an Eagle's rally.
Yeah, now Bling Bling as well. Got to be careful. Evade and Punish not going to be able to hit due to the Disapparate. But Raccoon's going to use the Cat Call chasing him down. And Bling Bling does not have a chance. Thought Ultimate came through this side as well. So just Viral really starting to take this back. And it's looking like they've finally answered and said, okay, yeah, you know what? Get My Level. You did great last time.
Oh,
this is not your game. This is not your game.
Ashu tried his hardest to juke. He burned his Aegis. I thought that was going to be clean. But no, she's able to land the Marvel shot, and that's going to result in a clean lane for him to farm for the meantime, and more importantly, provide pressure, which is going to peel Get On My Level, the team, not the player, away from assaulting this solo lane side, or rather, keeping their side from getting assaulted this hard by Team Viral solo laner.
We're going to need to try and find a better way of talking about Get My Level and Get My Level. Because saying Get My Level, the team, not the player, and the player, not the team, is kind of a little bit difficult to try and say in the middle of a team
I originally started saying that just to ape Jim Sterling, but now at this point, yeah, we should probably figure something out. Get On My Level, the team, is going to be at risk here, but their mid laner going to take a decent bit of damage. That mirror, if you get a full charge, does a deceptive amount of chunk damage.
I mean, it's got a ridiculous amount of scaling. If I quickly go and have a look at it, you can see that it puts out 60% physical power and then has extra charge damage of 420. You can do ridiculous amounts of damage with that thing. It's sort of anywhere between 600 to 1,000 if it gets fully charged, which is nuts for an ability, especially an ability for a support who's normally taking most of the brunt of the damage.
Bling Bling going to take a bit more of a brunt of the damage from Raccoon Zero. Team Viral are gagging to take down this tier 1 in the mid. They want to get that little opening to where they can start pressuring the big objectives more clearly and more freely, but Get On My Level have been stuffing them every time, either by just having Bling Bling play it safe or having appropriate ward coverage, although right now Team Viral's wards are dominating the map.
Yeah, they really are, because they have so decent of a gold lead currently. Again, goes to the graphs. It's about 2,000 gold lead for Viral and 3.2k XP lead. It's not huge. It's 6-1 though. There's a lot of pressure going on in favor of Team Viral. Get My Level just feels useless currently, and that's a huge problem. And I do mean the player, not the team.
Get On My Level are at a point where they need to find that opening they found on Viral last game. They were able to get it. Viral overstepped their boundaries and they punished them for it, but now it's Trevor who oversteps his boundaries. Raccoon Zero drops the half, enough before the cat to summon. Luckily, Ringo is there to take the aggro away from him via the cat's gonna give Trevor a bit more of a health buffer to work with for this upcoming fight on the left side. Team Viral want this Gold Fury attempt or fight, but Get On My Level is not giving it to them.
Yeah, they really aren't. They're trying their best to keep it a little bit longer. I was actually focused on the fight over on the solo lane yet again, get on my level, forced to get back, and now the noob actually going to start up Portal Demon. He doesn't have the Eagles Rally, so not going to be able to use that protection and the extra free damage. But no one is contesting him for it, and as long as he can keep alive, maybe get one of his teammates to come help him. Rampage isn't too far away. That could be big, but now getting my levels here, he's got to go. He cannot keep on fighting this.
Yeah, it's going to be very risky. That's going to be leashed by force. Now, Gold Fury is going to be started up at the same time. There's fighting on both right and the left-hand sides of the map. Noob incredibly low. Back on the left, Frenzy is going to be deployed. Gold Fury is going to get completely deleted there. Viral making good use of the bonus damage off the Relic. Back to the solo lane here. Noob getting pressured again, but was able to heal up nicely, courtesy of the Chalice and some attacks from the Scourge. Viral getting away with a robbery there. No pressure from Get On My Level to counter. Or even challenge them even.
Yeah, what's worse as well, they couldn't do Portal Demon. Even if Get On My Level had sort of tried to come back with it, Noob had a lot of stuff up finally. He was going to be able to do a lot though, but Trevor
Rampage
going to be able to find stuff.
The Sunstrike! It's
yeah.
so much damage applying to a short space of time. It was after the Aegis went down, Rampage is eliminated. Viral's on the back foot now. They've just lost their big source of damage in this part of the game, including the ultimate as well from Rampage. That's going to be even more gone. Rakin Zero trying to keep himself alive to try and help out once the caps come online, but that's still going to be a decent bit of cooldown. Shiz up in the air, able to evade the Draconic Corruption. No acid damage for him. Bling Bling forced to use the Aegis to avoid the dot damage from Rakin Zero. Rakin Zero turned from a cat into a boar. Ringo gets turned into a tombstone. Ashu able to follow up, takes out Rakin Zero. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. They're going to look for some more potentially by chasing under the tower, but Team Viral are going to have a hard time with that because the rest of Get On My Level has assembled under the tower. It would be a 4 versus 3, and it would be very, very risky to take this fight.
But look how low their HP bars are, and it's not going to get much better for them without them recalling. Noctis, on the other hand, has a lot of defense. The Noob also has a ton of defense. Shiz, although he doesn't have any lifesteal, can easily just keep it up. Look how much damage he's doing to this Portal Demon. If they tried fighting, it could have worked. Maybe not under the tower, though. Instead, they're going to go for the much safer play. Go for this Portal Demon instead, and just start taking this lead back in their favor, rather than doing exactly what Get On My Level has done in the past, and just sort of get a little too comfy.
Yeah, that kind of, not necessarily lackluster, there's a certain word for it, that certain laziness almost that sometimes can happen from you having a lead for a long period of time. You know, the graph, it's trending downwards. There have been upwards trends for Get On My Level, but Viral have had the lead predominantly, big or small. So you can get a bit too comfy, a bit too laissez-faire. And that can punish you hard, especially in Southeast Asia, where turnabout is fair play and comebacks happen all the time. Rakin Zero charging Trevor, completely murders him, even with Bling trying to help. Oh, look at that damage from Rampage!
That was half his health, just wiped out from that sniper. I wasn't even sure if that was going to hit, but it went straight clean through. Viral getting 2 kills for absolutely free. Ashley, you've got to get out of here. You know there are multiple people nearby, and luckily Ringo spots Raccoon in the jungle, going to try and take a bit of a poke fight. He's actually taking a lot more damage than he was expecting. Noctis is here as well for the silence. Ringo already on under half HP. He's going to go into Draconic form just to try and keep himself alive. The Caledonian Boars come out as well. Ringo not quite going to get the stun, but Shiz up in the air looking for Ringo. 1 hit, looking for 2. No, not going to be able to find it, unfortunately.
But meanwhile, solo lane, again, more fighting. It's a ginormous epic duel between Noob and Get On My Level this whole time. They've been able to rotate occasionally for fights, but it's just been the story of how far can Noob push his lead down Get On My Level's lane and his throat. Now they're going to be fighting again with the help of Team Viral. Trevor, he's going to be able to get the speed. Not get the speed. Oh no, he got stunned. That was so close to being killed by Evade and Punish alone, but the bludgeon finishes the job off anyway. Bling Bling getting hit with a couple of runes, going to force him backwards. Team Viral has a commanding territory lead now.
Yeah, they really do. Bling Bling actually forced to use the Aegis as well. Rampage looking for it. Instead, Noctis not going to be able to find that. Looking for the snipe. No, Disapparate form does come out just in time. Rampage really wants this kill though.
He gets it. Alright, so it sucks that they weren't able to get it immediately and waste a bit of time, but they got it, and now they can take this tier 1 for free. But it's not the end of the world for Get On My Level, because yeah, now almost all their tier 1s are gone. but they do have enough people to where they can get the oracles. They didn't lose too many men, and Get on My Level will be able to challenge that because they only just lost the one in the tower.
Yeah, also Ashu's got to be really careful here. He's going to back off. Sees Shiz. Shiz doesn't have any mana though, so he can't clear the wave, but looks like iRampage is here to save the day, and Ashu, you are too far up when you are so far behind.
And not having enough wards to cover either. He only had 2 wards in blue at the bottom, the bottom left here. And actually one of them just disappeared. Meanwhile, Viral had that crucial band of wards all through the middle of the map, around the purple buff, around the red, mid lane itself, and stretching almost towards Portal Demon. So any kind of movement, Team Viral will see. They've got almost a network of CCTV, while Get on My Level only really have 1 or 2 wards to detect that kind of thing. So Ashu can't be that aggressive because they don't have the surveillance to back it up.
Noob, though, over in the solo lane, already put Bling Bling to half HP. Disapparate's already used. Noob does have his ultimate, gonna get it perfectly timed. Bling Bling just gets 1v2 by the Noob. Looking to get my level as well under tower.
I'm not sure if you just saw that. Did it look like the Sunstrike went off post-mortem there for Bling Bling? I'm not quite sure. That was rather odd.
It looks like he does have it. I'm not entirely sure. It might have gone off,
Yeah, I saw the visual effects. No, it's off. Bling Bling doesn't have ultimate. Somehow he was able to fire the Sunstrike after death.
Noob.
Not sure what's going on there. Noob, very low here, but Get on My Level is low on mana, so he can't really follow with everything he'd want to. He's going to have to let that go.
Yeah, now Trevor's back in the mid lane as well, wanting to try and stop Viral. Nice evade and punish, actually already on half HP. Just, he wasn't even anywhere near them, and he's nearly dead. Stop,
Ashu
everyone.
fires off the Wild Hunt, but doesn't hit anything, though. Ashu's getting a little too antsy on those long-channeled ults, and it's not paying off for him. He needs to keep that for when there's guaranteed stuns from, say, Bling or Trevor or Ringo or Get on My Level. He has so much single-target CC he can rely on to then follow up, but he's just using this stuff blind. It could be a sign of nerves, perhaps, for Ashu.
I mean, honestly, I feel like Get on My Level aren't entirely sure they want to use the boars. Because this was a fight a while ago when Raccoon Zero was in the middle of the entirety of Get My Level and still somehow survived for so long. Because I think it was... I'm pretty sure I saw the Trevor pull into the Fafnir stun, into the Fafnir underhanded tactics, into the Ashu Caledonian boars, and he still lived through it. It was pretty insane, but Get My Level's already nearly dead. Sunder's probably going to confirm it. Typhoon as well going to try and help out.
That is going to be a successful 2 kills actually there for Viral. They're going to knock up the jungler as well from Get on My Level to be a next scalp, and they get the support scalp as well. 3 for 0. Noctis Boy was trying to chase and keep the rest of Get on My Level back. Portal Demon successfully acquired. Fire Giant's looking likely as well, even more likely now because they just popped a frenzy.
Yeah, I mean, this is not going to go anywhere on the side of Get My Level. There's only 2 of them left. They were looking for maybe even a gold jury. They only get oracles at a slight bonus. This is very bad for the side of Get My Level. The Portal Demon is used to make sure that Viral get back and they can start pushing down this right-hand side as well. They need to be taking out these tier 2s. Yet, Get on My Level has barely done any tower damage. I'm going to quickly go over to the F3 screen, which is the stat screen. You don't get to see this one too much. Look at the zeros.
Oh, that's not inviting at all for Get on My Level. That doesn't inspire confidence. You have a Sol and a Sun Wukong and a Kern in those. Those are 3 characters who could be great at pushing. Okay,
damage.
Finally, yay! Ashu's on the board. Get on My Level's finally on the board with tower damage, but meanwhile, Team Viral's taking another tower. So yeah, too little, too late.
It really is too little, too late at this point. Viral just dominating, going for the Phoenix. Get on My Level's nearly dead already. Unfortunately, looked like a little bit of damage didn't hit them. Raccoon finally finishes it off. Looking for Bling Bling, though.
Yeah, Bling Bling.
Oh, goodbye!
That was absolutely disgusting there! Noob gets the credit, but that was all Rampage! Ringo, he goes into the Draconic Pawn to try and just be some kind of buffer for Get on My Level, but Viral, angry after that last game, are in prime position to put this set into a split.
Yeah, they're angry, but they're smart. They're playing the safe, taking out the second Phoenix. They know that this Titan gets better the less you take out. Instead, now it's dropped down to about 10,000. They're looking for this tier 2 as well, rather than going straight for the throat. Because, again, we saw this exact same thing in the last set where actually it took a little bit longer because they went straight for the throw. Instead, playing it safe, taking out the towers, dropping the Titan's HP pool even lower, down towards 8,000, currently sitting at just below 10k. So this is going to knock him down a lot further than you would expect, and make him so much weaker.
Team Viral are in prime position because they have not only the ward coverage to see where Get On My Level's going on all junctions, although Get On My Level knocked his point dueling a bit, and that's not a good idea. Get On My Level. Get On My Level can't lose their proverbial cool, or their collective cool. They need to stick together, and they can't one-man army at this point.
Yeah.
There is no way they can afford to do that. The level disparity is too great. You know, level 14 versus level 20 solo laner, level 14 versus level 17 junglers. They can't lose their cool. They have to keep together and get picks. There are picks opening up, Wiz. Team Viral are occasionally overstepping their boundaries, but Get On My Level aren't capitalizing on them appropriately this game.
I mean, Raccoon has been absolutely insane. He's been diving the backline, absolutely going so ham. Bling Bling has been doing a decent amount of damage onto him, but never enough to kill him because no one else is actually trying to focus him. That lets Raccoon get in and out, do so much damage, and just get away where he shouldn't be. And now they've taken out the Gold Fury. They're looking for the last Phoenix, probably. You can see the noob is on his own over on this right-hand side, but that doesn't matter particularly. He's slowly walking away. Noctis Poi also just recalled, going to be coming back as slow as he can be. Maybe slightly faster using the passive, but otherwise it's going to be very minimal here. Viral just getting ready to go in and take out this last Phoenix.
Yeah, Get On My Level can't really get on the offensive because of the Winions just pouring in, the Fire Winions, I should say. Meanwhile, Draconic Form and Ringo going to be mainly a zoning ultimate, but he has to immediately retreat. So now he's on the clock. He's got to make good use of the AoE course. Frenzy and Music Viral, they're going in. The charge has been called. Can they kill this Phoenix and the Titan? Let's find out. In goes Noob. Sniper as well is going to do fantastic damage onto Aegis targets, but it doesn't matter because the Ashu Aegis wore off and Noob gets the kill. Meanwhile, Shiz is able to get another kill for Viral. The Phoenix is going to be following shortly. And the friend, this is all but decided at this point. There's a valiant attempt by Get On My Level. They're going to go back into the fountain and play it well. They're using the regeneration from it to try and defend, but Viral have too much health and too much range damage. Unless they start leashing the Titan over and over, that's the last thing they need here to give it 25% HP regen over and over and over.
Yeah, it could be a little bit nuts. They are doing a lot of leashing though, because everyone's very low on HP. Regan's doing what he can, but the Titan finally falls. This looked much cleaner. This is the Viral that we know. This is the Viral that we see constantly, and unfortunately we just didn't get that last time. I don't know where it went, but this is looking a little bit better. They need to sit down and focus on why that didn't happen and try and catch it around. Again, I think Get On My Level is still a fantastic team. Don't get me wrong. They are insanely good. They're just not good enough to destroy Viral and get a game off of them as like they did.
One thing I'd like to point out that could be one of the reasons, Wiz, since we've got a little bit of time before the next game. Get On My Level, first game, punished Viral every opportunity they had. Viral went to go take a tower, Get On My Level immediately riposted with their own tower. Viral went to take oracles, Get On My Level stole 2 camps. Every time Viral went for a Gold Fury, Get On My Level takes the Portal Demon and then Fire Giant. And then steals Fire Giant because why the hell not? But that game, like you said, the only tower damage that was done for most of that game was Ashu. Let's have a look at the stats. Structure damage. Yeah, the only damage period for Get On My Level was from Ashu split pushing at the end. So Get On My Level seemed to be slacking a bit on punishing Team Viral's open opportunities in that second game.
Yeah, meanwhile, Shiz as well was just absolutely destroying both the towers and actually in terms of player damage as well. It's not a huge amount compared to some of them, especially Noob, just absolutely outperforming on his Bologna. I'm happy to see him doing pretty well. But Shiz was just generally always there, performing a lot of damage, getting a lot of snipes off as well, and even though they weren't kills, they were guaranteeing that Get On My Level couldn't stay in.
Which is unfortunate for them, but we do have the next game up and running shortly. It's going to be Archipelago versus Orphan Squad to round out the day's event. So we're going to whack about 5 more minutes on the clock, and it'll bring you the final best of 2 of the day. final set of the long day of this week's Sail Invitational League, brought to you by Esports Anchor. Third Velocity here alongside Lords WizKid, Archipelago versus Orphan Squad. This one is usually the most fun because it features Archipelago, and they're the team most well known in this scene for utter shenanigans.
Shenanigans is definitely the right word. Again, Giannis solo is something we keep putting back up because it is such a big thing that Dracula V loves to run. But unfortunately, we did see him earlier this week, so yesterday, he was actually playing relatively sensible gods. Whether he'll be still on that sort of line or trying a little bit more into the, like dipping his toes into the water a little bit more over the random, we'll have to see. Osiris, Bellona, normal bans, Thoth, normal ban, Susano, normal ban, and Ganesh, normal pick.
Although there is a little caveat here. So, Geo is most likely going to be receiving the Ganesh, but there it is. Okay, Vintage's Kepri is downright horrifying to go against. He has done some disgusting things with it in past splits, and it got through clean. Archipelago much more concerned about the solo and jungle dynamic instead of getting rid of the Vintage's Kepri. That could backfire, but Archipelago hovering the Janus, I'm not sure if it's going to lock in here. If that, okay, that's a big lock-in. Archipelago needs to get an execution jungler somewhere, because that is going to give Vintage so many problems later into the game.
Yeah, Giannis also... Okay, yeah, this could still be a Dracula v Giannis. We don't know for sure. It could be a mid lane Giannis. We don't know. So they need to be sitting down and thinking, what solo lane do we need to try and shut down? If this is a Dracula v God, how do we stop him from doing what he has been doing? Because it's been working too well, and unfortunately, he does like to do this against teams that he believes may not be as strong, so Orphan Squad is possibly one of the ones that he could be considering doing it. Jingwei, though, going to be locked in. Interesting, we haven't seen her too much, especially in the SPL, just because Crit isn't doing that fantastically currently. She has had a lot of buffs, she's doing pretty nicely, but she's not on the level of a Kernanos or a Huyi or a Rom just yet. Also, we do see two Vulcan bans in, so we'll get that fixed as soon as possible.
To be fair, as much as that is a production error, Slicey and Hokage Devil both have Mead Vulcans, so if the players could do that, I imagine they both would actually ban Vulcan.
Yeah.
That is a legit thing they would probably do.
Quite probably, yes. And a Wheelish band as well, which is quite interesting. Then again, they do have a Jingwei, they have a Circuit as well. It's probably something that we can get. Yeah, we're not entirely sure about what that ban is exactly, but unfortunately, we'll see if we can get that to you at some point in the future. So yeah, Jingwei, not too popular, but trying to shut down the Wheelish at least. Make sure that they can't do too much on the side of Archipelago, because you can get the execution gods to try and deal with the Kepri, but if you have enough problems, it shouldn't matter too much.
I still think that Vintage needs to be kept in check here. Orphan Squad is a mishmash of players. There's half of them are ex-Loyal, half of them are ex-Leviathan. And Orphan Squad are starting to get their ball rolling. So Hunbats and Hercules are going to be the ones locked in here. So I imagine it's going to be Jimmy Maisie on the Hunbats, but at the same time, he also could be using the Hercules. There's a couple of options. And there's Ravan. We were talking about him last game. Ravan hasn't really poked his head up at all today. We've seen him a decent few times during the last week or so, but this is going to be the first time we're actually seeing him this week.
Yeah, sometimes he has these moments where he gets played consistently, and sometimes there are just days where no one ever wants to even touch him. But we are slowly going to be going into game right now, and from the looks of it, that's a Dracula v Humbats.
So, have they done a player swap? We talked about how Archipelago like to do player swaps. They do it in a similar way Viral likes to occasionally indulge in it. But I wouldn't
Yeah.
think now would be... Okay, so they're going to give Slicey the Yanis, and it's going to be Dracula in the jungle this time, and Jimmy Maisie in solo. We haven't been informed that there's been any, like, permanent role position switches, so maybe this is just another one-time thing that Archipelago likes to do to mess with the enemy.
Quite possibly, and it would work. I mean, you see a Giannis, you see a Dracula, you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get ready for a Giannis solo. And suddenly he's playing Humbat, and he's not solo, and it's a normal solo god. Suddenly things get a little bit weirder, and Hokage now has to be very careful, because if he gets tapped too much in that early game, he could get very heavily punished. The red buff already going to be invaded, and again, looking on the side of the dual lane as well, they're pushing up hard, so this entire side of the jungle is probably going to go the way of Archipelago. However, the solo lane red buff does go, the blue buff even does go to Orphan Squad.
Yeah, we're not in that realm of wacky, crazy, kooky Archipelago picks. They're keeping things standard. They're keeping things core, which they can do better than Orphan Squad for the most part. Bede's going to get popped immediately by Hokage because he got dropped inside the banished portal. But as I was saying, Orphan Squad do have a great composition right now, but Archipelago have the better track record, and they've been together longer. Yeah, they've had a couple players swap in and out, but not an entire roster disintegration and reforming like what ended up being what is essentially Orphan Squad, the two teams that combusted at the end of playoffs last split and came back together.
Yeah, and Archipelago do work together fantastically. They're effectively the luminosity of Southeast Asia. They have some very hilarious players on there. They have some really good... they have a really good duo lane as well. Like, we talk about Kirip and Geo quite a lot, because they work together fantastically.
Okay, so I'm going to have to be a bit of a party pooper here. Unfortunately, my replay's completely crashed, so we're going to make a note of the time and actually get my client back up. Many apologies about this. I didn't know this was going to happen. We'll be right back in a moment. welcome back. Apologies for my client completely and utterly exploding, but we managed to get everything fixed and sorted. Now we're back in 2 minutes on the clock, and so far there has been some aggression in the various lanes, but no first blood claimed, and no attempt at diving Jimmy Maisie immediately, which is, you would think that with a Saket and a Scylla, that much CC, that would be an easy gank in the solo.
Yet, you've got to be careful with the Dragon Strike, and as long as you don't know where Dracula V is, you've always got to assume that the Fear No Evil is coming soon as well. Custard just taking a ridiculous amount of damage from Portal and the minions, though, already down to half HP. So, you can see that, yeah, you can go in, you can try and take out Jimmy, but you're gonna die pretty quickly. As long as you get first blood and you can get 2 kills, then maybe it's worth it. But if you're only gonna get it for a kill and you're probably dead, no reason to go in for something like that at all.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a 50-50 split, but we have seen those immediate ganks with a Scylla and the Saket before. Orphan Squad love running the Khepri, Scylla and Saket as a trio, but of course the support won't often rotate as well, so they will be practicing those kinds of ganks, but they maybe want to keep things safe for the meantime. But something to point out quickly here, we are seeing a slightly different opt for support builds. Boots being picked up immediately for Geo, but Vintage is wanting a bit more health and a lot more money generation.
Yeah, so Geo's looking for the heavy rotations early on, whereas Vintage is mainly going to be there for sort of being that big support of the, I will ult you to make sure that you don't die. I'm not there to make sure that you will, you will be safe and they won't go in on you. I'm just there so I can get there and make sure that you can stay alive for a little bit longer, maybe even we get out. He is definitely going to go into boots quickly. As you can see, he's already got tier 2 boots, but it's just not going to be as fast. But Custard, though, getting hit by the Fear No Evil.
Oh no, he went into the wall. That's going to force the Resurrect from Vintage to actually keep him alive. Meanwhile, Custard going to use the Last Breath to try and give himself a bit more room. Through time and space used by Slicey to give his team a bit more room to maneuver, but it doesn't even matter. It's not required because Archipelago pick up the first blood on Custard. Kind of unfortunate that Custard pathed kind of weirdly. He was thinking of trying to go around the wall, but there was a blockage, so he just kept running into the wall for some reason, and because of that, stalled for a bit too long.
It was actually, he was going to use his 3 to jump over the wall, but instead, unfortunately, he got hit by a silence, and so he just couldn't do it, so he just kept on walking forward.
I didn't see the silence. Ah,
yeah,
okay.
It was very quiet. It was so difficult to see, but the silence from Geo did come out to make sure that he couldn't do it. And unfortunately, also in the duo lane.
Then. I was like, why is he just running his face into the wall? This doesn't make any sense, but okay, the silence from Geo stopped him in the 3.
Yeah, duo lane as well. TD Swag was forced to use Purification as soon as Dracula V came in. Luckily, he's going to be alive pretty easily, but Orphan Squad just looking like they're struggling a bit to keep up with Archipelago. However, they are able to get the Oracles, so they are keeping at least in somewhat reaching distance.
Yeah, they want to keep them at arm's reach if they can. We might see a run back of the second set today instead of the first set. More of a loyal get on my level versus, say, an Archipelago versus Blitz. But Archipelago are going to be warmed up. That's something to keep in mind. They have already played a game today, so they're going to be on their point. They want to keep things rolling. But at the same time, there also could be a little bit of a stress factor in because that last game was like, yeah, we stumped them, it was fun. But what about this game? It could be almost like a snapback effect where the confidence could be affected a little bit. But Archipelago is veteran enough in the scene to where they would have the Vintage. Oh, no. Bye, Vintage.
Normally, you would think lazy backing in the back harpies would be completely fine.
I didn't want to say anything because Vintage is better than that. He rarely ever lazy backs, but come on, dude. India a bit low here, Wiz.
Yeah, indeed he is. Gonna get silenced out by by everyone. Nice Giannis as well. Gonna stop India guy from doing too much. His ultimate's down already. Jimmy Massey finally gonna get him the kill. Orphan Squad really need to be going for this gold jury. They're going to start it up. The Oracle's on their vision. They know about it, but Kerip is here as well. He can use the Suns if he needs to. There's only 3 of them doing it currently. It's on about half HP. Hokage does have his ultimate, but Kerip's going to be here just in time. He's going to be able to see it. He is not going to be able to see it away, unfortunately, though. Archipelago, very close. Actually trying to chase down a lot of stuff, though. He's got to go back. You can't go into that.
You can't fight that. Yeah, it sucks as well because Slicey burnt through time and space on the 4-man gank rotation on the attacking India guy in the solo lane, so he couldn't buy that. Instead, Kirib, I understand. You're Hoyi, you're feeling confident, you're not invulnerable. You just gave Slicey last breath. That is not what you need right now to give your team deaths for the enemy, but Archipelago are going to try and make that back. They get an extra kill on the board, but still, you can't be doing stuff like that.
Yeah, there was no reason for him to go in there at all. We said he should back, and he'd started doing it, but thought, I want to look good. I need to be a Dracula V. I'm going to go in! And dead. Oops.
There is a propensity with some of the players. I'm not sure if they've said it more sarcastically than anything, but there have been moments where they want to just do it for the highlight reel and disregard the game, and in that case it backfired horribly on Kirib.
Yeah, it did. Unfortunately, Slicey as well, really wanting to go and take out some of these farming, looking for the XP, but he's just on no HP. Custard knows he's here. Why is he blazing backing?
Through time and space is going to be forced because of it. You don't... What is it with these players and lazy backing this game? I'm not sure why there's so many lazy backs on both teams. It's not just one team getting lazy, it's both of them for some reason.
Yeah, and now Dracula V going to come around behind Vintage, looking to see what he can. He does have a Fear No Evil, but there's no reason he's not going to be able to get a kill really about it. Maybe Jimmy Massey can find something, but doubt it. Meanwhile, Oracle's going to be taken out by TD Swag.
Yeah, vision control going to be really nice. Just keep that area in check because Archipelago does like to control the area pretty heavily through their past games, and then they will send Kirib on even more Rambo escapades if they can keep that area under full lockdown. So keep the undispellable vision for the time being, and that will also give them an opportunity to keep tabs on the Gulf Fury if Orphan Squad want to try and take that for a second time.
Dracula V in the middle versus Casted right now, looking for the Fear No Evil maybe. Nice portal going to keep him alive. Vintage as well, not even having a chance to use the Kepri Revive to keep him alive. But now Archipelago are grouping up. They're looking for speed buff, and it's already done. India guy knows there's 4 people around him though. He definitely wants to just go back to his tier 2 tower, as Dracula V has realized that basically everything around here is already done.
Yeah, you don't want to try and overextend yourself, so just move back and leech off a lane instead, or just go back to base. Takes the back option instead. No crazy Dracula V signature, like, Fatalis attack speed builds yet. He's going to go with the standard Hydra's Lament. Dracula V does like to do those builds, and it ends up being a 50-50 half the time, but Archipelago gonna posture up for an attack on TT Swag, but he is the Jing Wei, so if when he gets out of the silence, he will be able to escape somewhat successfully, but the start of the Ricochet is good, the combo's even better, will force the Resurrect from Vintage.
Yeah, and now everybody on the side of Orphan Squad is here. Gio is a little bit too far forward. He's actually going to be able to use the portal to get away. Oh, now Humbats is here. Dracula V on his own. He doesn't have the Fear No Evil. Just going to be forced to go and jump over the wall. Can't aggress into this tier 1 tower because so many of them are alive. Nice last breath onto Slicey. Aegis used as well. Hikage can't do anything. Suns actually keep him away. Now Custard forced to back as well. Dracula V doesn't have his ultimate up for yet another about 25 seconds. If he could stay, but he just cannot. It could be really big potential.
If Orphan Squad stay here for the next 20 seconds, I'll be very surprised. They've got their solo laner caught up in the mid lane in a fight with Gio and Jimmy Maisie, or he was, now he's going to rotate back, so he couldn't help out. Orphan Squad are instead going to be left there by Archipelago. They're going to instead opt to go back themselves. Don't spend too much time idle and without getting any farm. Just do something with your money, go get some new items. Always be doing something. Don't sit still.
Yeah, don't. If you sit still, you are going to start losing. In fact, not just losing, you're going to start hemorrhaging. You're going to start losing a lot of golden XP.
There you go. Apparently, you just had a hemorrhage there for a moment.
Yeah, I guess I did. But you just lose so much of it that you sit back behind. You also give Archipelago a chance to actually keep on building this gold lead, because they can take whatever you're not taking. If you're not going for a red buff, they can go take it. If you're not going for the oracles, they go take it. You can see that now suddenly these sort of potentially advantageous buffs just get destroyed by the other team if you do nothing. Fear No Evil going to come up onto Vintage.
Oracles will be grabbed, but will Archipelago overstay their welcome? They haven't developed a habit of that quite yet. It's not levels of blitz, but instead it is going to be McTeeny Swag getting caught out. But luckily, because Jinwei is able to get away, but Dracula gets caught out by Custard instead. Direct opposite result. They're going to lose the jungler, and now Archipelago's desperately fighting to try and avenge his death by killing off Custard.
Yeah, Custard though is going to be able to get the Capri's Burst, and Vintage trying to keep him alive. Carrot not going to let that happen though. Custard already dead. Vintage probably dying as well since he's just used the dash. Finally, Carrot getting a double kill. Also, maybe even looking for TD Swag, who's on about a third HP. Carrot cannot get all of their HP. Forcing the ultimate though, that's enough. I'd take that. I'm happy with that.
He ran for the hills. Yeah, that is a decent trade to take. And little tidbit here, Wiz, that I find kind of weird from Orphan Squad. Or actually, no, rather from Archipelago. A lot of times, Vintage is just sitting in the jungle waiting, finger pressed hard over the 4 key to get the res off. Why aren't Archipelago just jumping on Vintage?
Because they know that it's not going to matter anyway. TD Swag is actually here. He's going to try and stop this. God Fury is still alive. Archipelago finally using the Earthbreaker to secure it. TD Swag, why are you still here? You know it's done. You can't get away. Dragon Strike into the wall. Does have the dash in a couple of seconds, but Massey finally taking him out before he could even try. It was a big...
Martini was bait. Yeah, look. This is going to be a demon attempt here by Orphan. That was good. Okay, so, taking from the Book of Dracula, the bait, but this time it's going to be McTeeny Swag doing that. So it sucks that they lose the carry, but they get a Portal Demon. But here's the thing. Orphan Squad need to get something off of this. They need to keep momentum with a Portal Demon, or that was all for naught.
But what can they keep? There's nothing left. Massey, though, a little bit careful. Finno Evil, beautiful there. Custard's already on half HP, but Massey's already dead.
The tower's going to finish off Jimmy Mazy for Custard. Frenzy going to be deployed by Orphan Squad. Oh, sorry, by Archipelago, excuse me. What? Okay, that was a bit confusing. Talk about that at the moment. Dracula V going to help with taking the tower now. He's going to be assaulted by Indigo through time and space by Slice. He's going to give Archipelago room to charge down the mid lane, or at least a room to go around the back of the tower. They can't really charge because the tower's currently there. Hokage down a half. Geo charging, but he's a Ganesh. He can't really do that much damage. Rest of Archipelago too far away from him to really help. That particular want to fight is going to stall out for Geo. Archipelago got the better end of the trade, question mark?
I mean, how did Custard get out? I'm surprised. I think there may have actually been a weird interaction there where Geo silenced him as he came out of the portal, which for some reason didn't do damage, so Custard got away because of it. I know, he went out of the portal. It might have been a purification as well. I'm not entirely sure, but his purification is up right now. There was just some crazy thing that happened, and he stayed alive when he really should have been dead. So that's a huge deal, and Orphan Squad do get the lead, actually, I think, because that should have been a tier 2. Instead, Dracula V just completely died. Jimmy Massey had no chance of being able to be useful in that entire fight, because he was already dead before it even started. And then Kirip was the only one left to actually try and do anything, which he just couldn't.
Archipelago aggressing onto Orphan Squad speed buff. Cavalry has arrived. Multiple ultimates deployed. Archipelago get the better end of the trade. Custard's gonna fall. And now they're gonna be attacking India Guy. But Orphan Squad has their support and the middle laner there to assist. Dracula V going in hard though. It's gonna be hard to take down someone who's got damage reduction on him. That damage reduction's gonna fade. Dracula V throws the monkey. Will he teleport? Or he's gonna play it safe. If he teleports, it's gonna be so risky. Slicey, meanwhile, playing a game of great escape through the mid lane, will successfully get away and regroup with Kirip.
Yeah, if Hokage had actually believed in himself enough and used the second instead of the crush first, that would have been an easy kill on Slicey. Instead, unfortunately, using the crush just because he wasn't entirely sure exactly where Slicey was, not able to get the kill, and Slicey does get away, get a bit of farm, and the tier 1 tower on the right-hand side falls to Archipelago as well. They are taking a lead, slowly but surely, 9.3k XP and 5.8k gold. It's still not enough to say, yes, Archipelago are definitely 100% in the lead, but they are in a technical lead, where, yes, they are leading, but they are nowhere near enough to just dominate, like we've seen a couple of times.
Yeah, this isn't Archipelago Blitz, let's put it that way. Now, to keep that in mind, we've seen both extremes today. This third set of the day is shaping up to be more of a competitive bout. Orphan Squad have been on the back foot the entire time this set. There hasn't been a point where the lead deficit has equaled or gone below Blue's territory on the graphs, apart from the start. Yeah. Archipelago going in. McTeeny Swag in a bit of a risky position. Dharmic Pillars by Geo's going to force him backwards into the airstrike. Meanwhile, Last Breath applied to Slicey, forcing him to teleport out before he explodes. But Custard's still going in through time and space to use to give himself CC immunity. That's going to allow him to get out. Custard trying to juke as hard as he possibly can. The Resurrect from Vintage keeps him alive. TD Swag caught in there, but Dracula teleported and takes out McTeeny. Slicey's off on the right side of the map, split pushing back to the left. Archipelago going in. Dracula behind enemy lines. Jimmy Macy, the closest person to actually help and protect him, but the tower's going to be pushed down to the tier 1 on the left side here by Kirip. Archipelago is still wanting to fight. Orphan Squad can't get Dracula because he's just too nimble, and Slicey's waiting to give him the portal.
Yeah, and now suddenly Dracula V is going to be able to get away. Slicey as well, also being able to use the portal away to safety. That tier 2 tower on the left-hand side is falling. No one's defending it. Only Custard is defending the mid lane, and even that took about half its HP. Any longer than for Custard to kill it, it probably would have gone the way of Archipelago. Now they have a very weak spot to go in with. That tier 2 tower on the right-hand side is a little less weak, but it's still pretty good for Archipelago to try and go in. If they take down this Gold Fury, if they want to even go for it as the Oracles just get finished, they can then immediately head towards that tier 2 in middle, take that out, go for the Portal Demon, recall, come back, do Fire Giant, go for the right hand side, and then start taking out the Phoenixes. That is my call. Please do that, Archipelago. I want to see you win at least before the 30 minutes mark. You need to be trying to finish as fast as possible and having those calls out already in your mind.
Yeah, Archipelago could look for, well, funny enough, a second Blitz game with a good Blitz play. But Orphan are having none of it. They're still able to hold on and stop the bleeding. Of course, they are taking heavy hits by Archipelago in each fight. They are losing key objectives, but they are not getting completely steamrolled. And because of that, they are able to move around to the Portal Demon. They have everyone available, and there's no random split pushing by Archipelago. They haven't sent someone through a Slicey portal to do it. Dracula is going to get hit enough to where he goes back, so Archipelago are going to be in a bit of opposition to actually start this fight.
Oh, Custard is taking so much damage that the Kemper Lucky is going to keep him alive. Portal Demon is already down. It went to Archipelago as Slicey finishes off. TD Swag, Vintage is in the middle of 3 of them. He's not going to last long. Jimmy Massey chasing away the other 3.
That's going to be a nice, clean engagement by Archipelago, able to grab themselves Portal Demon, 2 scalps actually from Orphan Squad, and this tower's looking awfully tasty. Oh, Hokage, don't. What did you learn about lazy backing the last week or two? This is not what you need to do right now.
Oh, actually, Dracula V is probably going to be punished for it. Forced to run away. The I'm a Monster not going to be able to hit anyone, but Kirip is already dead. Dracula V might be finished off by India Guy even. No, Cuss is going to be able to get it with the leap in. Now he's going to try and do what he can. Looking for the purification. Actually, Madness going to be applied as well. Slicey is on no HP. The portal used. He's going to die, though. Slicey is going to be able to get that unstable vortex, and now Jimmy Massey and Geo just cannot do anything because their main damage dealers have to go back to base or are already dead.
We're starting to wander into that territory, Wiz, that I absolutely hate. It's the territory where both teams have fantastic battles, but neither one can really get a decisive win. It's stalemates more frequently than not. That's something that Southeast Asia is very prone to. But at the same time, you can understand their passiveness at this point. This is the first game of the best of 2. Orphan Squad is desperately looking for a win. They want a 2-0. I mean, they'll accept a point, but they want the 3. Archipelago are battling with Viral to try and keep the top spot in the standings, so they need to keep this chain of wins going so they can keep themselves in a good spot as we get closer and closer to the playoffs.
However, it is the curse of Southeast Asia that people just cannot finish games. There was no reason to actually go into that right-hand lane. They should have gone into middle, taking out this tier 2 tower, which was slightly weaker and much better to go for, because that tier 3 is not going to provide you much pressure. Instead, it's actually the opposite. Kage is already on half HP, forcing to use the Giannis ultimate, though not going to be able to find anyone on the backside snipes.
He clipped TD, but it didn't actually do that much damage, about 500 HP. Custer hits actually Jimmy Maze. He does a fantastic bit of damage. It's going to be true damage as well. But the Thorns, he has Thorns. He can just reflect damage onto Custer, but it doesn't have enough the duration to really kill him. Vintage forced to resurrect himself. That's going to be a dead lobster cooked for dinner for Archipelago. Archipelago, after claiming the tier 2 in the mid, tier 2 in the solo, which is about to fall down, they're looking for the first Phoenix of the game. They desperately need one more pick, and it could be on Hokage, but Jimmy Macy didn't have anyone to follow up, so Archipelago call for the retreat, grab the camps, and threaten a fire giant. They may not even need to get it here. Just make Orphan Squad panic, run in ones and twos, and kill them.
If Hokage can get here, though, this could be a win, but Hokage is nowhere near. The Fire Giant is 100% going to Archipelago in this case. This could be very bad for the side of Orphan Squad. TD Swag wanted to go in, but Gio's just zoning very heavily there. I don't know why Hokage went to the left-hand side. He really is the only one that could have actually attempted that. They could have easily got it, in fact, because he has I'm a Monster. They didn't have anything like that on the side of Archipelago. Slice's ultimate was down, Dracula's ultimate was down, the Earthbreaker was down, and the Suns were down as well. It would have been an easy take. Instead, he just plays it safe, they run away, and that's costed them the Fire Giant. That's going to at least cost them probably a Phoenix, certainly the Gold Fury, which is coming up very shortly.
Yeah, Gold Fury is going to give Archipelago even more bargaining power in this next fight, because with most of the good options for Archipelago, for Orphan Squad gone, Archipelago can walk up to their base and say, you've got one choice, you've got to bust through us. Because it's not on us. We can go through you easily. The level disparity shows that. It's a level, level 17 support versus level 12. The rest of the numbers speak for themselves. But Orphan Squad don't have the same luxury of time or space to work with. They have to bust through Archipelago to keep their chances of alive of taking this first game.
I mean, look at the net worth right now. This is clearly just exactly how this game has been going. Archipelago are just a league above Orphan Squad right now, and Orphan Squad just haven't had any time to answer. They can still answer. You can see Is Custard going to use Last Breath on them. Dracula V, Fear No Evil, trying to do what he can. Is Custard already on half HP though. Not quite going to get hit by space and time.
Almost clipped Custard there, but now Archipelago going to make the full charge. Vintage resurrects, immediately gets squished by an Excavate courtesy of Jimmy Mazy. Geol, incredibly low courtesy of Titan Swings, but gets away with literally 1 HP. Oh, that's going to clench him a little bit. Meanwhile, India Guy, TD Swag, right side flank of Archipelago, but there's not much they can really do here. Shell was popped to give India Guy and TD a little bit of room, but Archipelago move backwards and are thinking of going for the Phoenix. It's going to be kind of hard. It's now a 4 versus 4, and Orphan Squad do have tower protection. Never mind, make that a 4 versus 3.
Yeah, now the Phoenix is going to start being attacked. Dracula V is also in the backline as well, looking for what he can. Nice DP in. TD Swag already on a quarter HP even. Everyone back into base, but Dracula V going to be falling down to Hokage. I think that was a Titan damage. Vintage getting to get stunned in the wall. The second Phoenix is down. Ganesh is slowly making his way up to the lane, but it's not going to be enough. I think that was a brace of undoing as well, just keeping him alive a little bit longer. Hokage can get pulled in, trying to take a lot of damage. Nice silence from Gio. Actually going to keep him stuck there even longer. India Guy trying to do what he can, force to use the ultimate to get into the lane. Okay, TD Swag just wanted to go on a bit of a flying experience.
Help your team. This is not what they need to do. It's all fun and games, yes. Just take the first game, and then maybe have fun and games in the second. You'll get a point each. Custard going after Slicey, but a great charge there from Geol. It's going to stun Custard, and the resulting combination of damage from Archipelago results in Custard's death. Orphan down a jungler, down a mid laner. They're about to be down a solo laner here if they're not careful. Archipelago at this point is now just padding their KDs and slowly putting the boot on Orphan's neck. Airstrike deployed by McTD as Vintage trying to position himself to use his 2 to give the Titan damage reduction, but I think the Fat Lady may need to start singing soon because this is looking all but over.
Yeah, it is indeed over. Archipelago taking it 20-7, 26 minutes in. That could have been a lot cleaner. Thank you, Gio.
That could have... Yeah. Archipelago probably could have finished a bit sooner. To be fair, if we were going to give them the benefit of the doubt, Orphan Squad were putting up a damn good fight. They were the cockroach that couldn't be squished. We said that about Archipelago during week 1. Now we can say that about Orphan Squad week 2. Anytime Archipelago got their foot in the door for some kind of dominant offensive, Orphan Squad just shut it every time, so they had a little bit of a gap, and then a little
Wasn't
bit of a
it-
gap.
Wasn't it Orphan Squad in relegations had 3 Phoenixes down, and they somehow kept on defending time and time again, and it was just enough that they were
yes.
able to actually go and win the game afterwards after a beautiful team fight. Orphan
remember
Squad
that.
have
That was
a
a lot of fun.
fantastic defense, and they tried it and kept on trying it. It was so close. They could have potentially actually won that last fight. Unfortunately, Custard just got destroyed by a lot of the picks on the side of Archipelago. Also, again, we barely talked about Dracula V this game because he was playing on a normal god, but he was playing the normal god beautifully. There was a fantastic team fight where he got the exact teleport he needed to fly in, hit one person, I think it was TD Swag, finish him off, and then keep on going in the backline. It just put so much pressure on the side of Orphan Squad. It was very well done.
And with that, we're going to move straight on to game number 2. It's going to be the final game of the day. Will Archipelago be able to nab themselves another 2-0, or will Orphan Squad battle their way to another split? We'll be right back, 5 minutes on the clock. Final set of the day commencing shortly. First, we got to get through the picks and bans. Verbalosity here alongside Lord WizKid. Archipelago currently 1-0 up on Orphan Squad.
Yep, indeed, and they are definitely wanting to try and keep as many points as possible here. If they can keep more of these, they're just going to be able to catch up to Viral and try and keep in a reaching distance of them. It will be very interesting to see that moment where Archipelago and Viral finally get to meet each other and how well these teams are going to be playing. So I can't wait to see that, but it's whether they can actually keep it up and take this game, make sure they get their 3 points against Orphan Squad.
Nemesis first banned by Orphan. What either they want to run Zhonghui, that's never going to happen. We've only ever seen Zhonghui once, I think, and that was an off-stream game during the qualifiers. Or two, they just don't want Dracula V or Jimmy Maisie going off on that character, and that's a flex pick or a flex ban before you even get to the pick stage, because Orphan Squad Solo and Jungler keep switching roles.
Yeah, and it looks like Dracula may be sticking in jungle for this one. We're not entirely sure. The rumor is that he will be in jungle again, so sorry boys, we're not getting the Giannis solo. Maybe Giannis jungle? Maybe. Unlikely, but he actually seems like it was doing pretty well. Dracula V seemed pretty safe in this jungle pick. He sort of knew what he was doing. He was on a very good god as well with Humbat, so we'll see what they can do trying to keep him up and available. Thoth going to be picked up for the side of Orphan Squad though. They really wanted to value that, and I can see exactly why. He's just so good right now. Bologna and Giannis though for the Archipelago. Looks like they want to give the Giannis back to the mid lane, so Slicey probably going to be getting that one.
Yeah, Slicey's Giannis did work that game, maybe not as much as he would have liked, but it was caught, it was solid, it provided great utility, it allowed the rest of Archipelago to start getting around the back of Orphan. No Khepri or Serket bans by Archipelago. They opted for the Osiris Ganesh, which means one, Custer's going to get his Serket. If Khepri isn't banned in this second phase of pick bans, I'm going to be incredibly surprised.
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised as well. He did do a lot of work, but it definitely wasn't enough for the side of Orphan Squad. So they might actually feel like Archipelago might think, you know what, we'll let you keep on Geb. You can stay on Khepri. We don't need you to be on anything different. Fafnir also getting banned out as well. So it could be that Archipelago could even take Khepri from themselves if they want to, because they do have the pick after this banning phase. Medusa is going to be the one it goes for, so interesting to see, since no one has actually picked up Kernanos yet, and he's not been banned either.
Yeah, this pick ban stage in general has given me a lot of question marks. Vintage did great work on the Khepri. Custer did great work on Serket. Kernanos hasn't been picked at all for some reason. Terra is going to be opted for by Archipelago. That's going to go on Giol, unless Jimmy Maisie is going to do some kind of Terra solo, but I doubt that. We're not going to see another support picked up. There's Khepri for Vintage. Vintage is going to be quite happy with that, especially against this particular opposing composition where the burst damage will be there, but more importantly, you can use the Resurrect to buy someone a bit of time from the Bologna or Wheelish 1-2 combo.
Yeah, and luckily for the side of Orphan Squad as well, they felt like they knew Kernanos wasn't going to go the side of Archipelago. That's why they banned out the Huyi, making sure that Kirit could not play that, because it was pretty devastating. I was surprised how well he was doing. It definitely wasn't that sort of ridiculous level that you can get with Kernanos, but it's still pretty decent.
On her, though, being picked up, Archipelago want this early mid-game locked down. They're going to be used to Terra, the On Her, the Wheelish, and the Bologna to do work, while using the Giannis to help essentially ferry people around. Of course, Slicey is Slicey. He can hit the ridiculous shots. He can do consistent damage with the Unstable Vortexes, but Archipelago are going to be primarily aiming for the early mid to solid mid late game power spike. Orphan Squad, however, are going to be putting their chips thoroughly in late game.
Yeah, Dracula V, though, with this Wheelish, if he can get an early kill, that's going to put him very much ahead. And when I say early kill, I mean in the first couple of levels, not sort of level 5 or so. If you can get that kill by using the knock-up into the insane amount of damage on the Feather Step, you can get very easily just start dominating lanes. However, it looks like on this right-hand side, it's just going to be a pretty even trade, since the side of Archipelago actually went and started the speed buff, and now Orphan Squad, after doing the lane, they're going to go to the blue buff, maybe looking for the speed as well, but Slicey's going to be around here as well.
Yeah, Slice is going to help try and contest the speed buff invade. It is going to be a bit slow for Orphan Squad, but they will successfully nab it. Custard's going to be a bit more hasty, but he's going to have to hastily get out of there because he was challenged there by Archipelago Solo and Jungle.
India.
But India guy's going to be the fall guy. Oh, no, Custard couldn't do anything for him there. So that's going to be first blood goes to Archipelago. Second blood potentially. Vintage is incredibly low. He is going to go down to Geo and the Bramble as well. No way of actually using that Bramble to save him. It sucks for TD. He could try his darnest, but that was a tale of two characters, Custard and TD, not able to help their respective partners.
And Archipelago yet again just looking dominant, taking out that blue buff as well, making sure that Orphan Squad, even though they did steal away India guy, steal away the blue buff from India onto India guy, since he died, is no longer there. Now suddenly Archipelago just look a lot better, and we're only just 2 minutes in the game. That pillar.
The BM. All you gotta do is stand there just like, I hate you, but well played.
Yeah.
That's all you could say on that. Archipelago, however, gonna be thinking to get additional vengeance onto body blocking Custard by maybe wanting to respond to this attempt by Orphan on the Oracles. But no, actually they're going to take the more passive approach. They're just going to clean up the lane, clean up the buffs, and let Orphan take the Oracles.
I mean, it makes sense, because if you do try and contest on the Oracles, that means that if you lose that contention, it could mean that the red buff and the purple buff go the way of Orphan Squad as well. You've got to be careful and sort of think about those things. Instead, playing it safer, let them have the Oracles where it's probably not going to matter too much, since I doubt they're going to be looking for one in sort of the next couple of minutes. Dracula V, though, getting caught out by the madness.
Went very aggressive here, but Orphan Squad also taking a decent bit of damage, but it doesn't matter because Hokage with the alley-oop setup is going to take out Dracula V.
Oh, actually, solo lane. Massey's on no HP, forced to use the Eagle's Ready to get away. Earthbreaker was just used, so he might get away ever so close. Fire Elemental's gonna go the way of Orphan Squad as well. They're now starting to answer back to Archipelago.
Orphan Squad are doing this little... not necessarily formation, but they're doing this little trick where whenever a fight kicks off in the solo now, they send a couple people, Geo, we'll talk about that in a moment, Geo hit with the last press, so he can't heal, and a full blast of the dodge and punish from Hokage is going to result in Custard getting the killing blow. But, as I was saying, Orphan Squad will send 2 or 3 people to go take a buff camp or something, do something productive while a fight is happening in the solo. If it gets too out of hand, they can just capitalize.
Massey decided to try and contest this. What are you doing here, though, son? Nice portal, gonna keep him alive a little bit longer. The Terror as well. Stealth Ultimate not anywhere near enough.
Oh, that's a close situation. That's one where your hairs stand on end for Jimmy Maisie. You are just thanking Slicey profusely after that. That was some great heads-up play by Slicey.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was perfect portal placement. And also a combination of using the Terror Ultimate to make sure that even if they did chase up, it wasn't going to be fast enough. And like Hokage probably would have actually gotten that kill if it wasn't for the fact that Geo had propped his ultimate. So that's at least something that Jimmy Massey can feel really good about for getting away. But he should not have been there in the first place. A lot of ultimates got popped just to get him out. However, it looks like TD Swag has met Geo in the duo lane jungle side. Nothing's going to happen because, again, it's TD Swag. He's on a Kernanos. Geo cannot solo him or get anywhere near that sort of level right now.
Yeah, Geo is in a bit of a precarious position. He can only really do so much right now because he can heal where he can. He can pop Terra's Blessing, but the anti-heal from Custard multiple times now has given him so much trouble. Speaking of Custard going with the gank alongside the rest of Orphan Squad to the duo lane, Kirib gets turned into a boar and butchered. TD Swag getting the killing blow, but the portal from Slicey from downtown's going to do a okay bit of damage to Custard, and is going to provide a decent movement option, but it will allow Archipelago to flank around the Gold Fury as Orphan's going to start it.
Yeah, Kirip is down still. He's not going to be able to come up for a while. They're looking for it. The Frenzy has been popped. About half HP. Beautiful pull onto Vintage. He's already down. TD Swag on half HP. Not going to get hit by the stun from Terra. Hokage just doing what he can to try and do a bit of damage. Jimmy Massey finding Custard in the background. TD Swag on about a third, and Jimmy Massey is chasing him down. Dracula V right behind him as well. Not going to get hit by the Earthbreaker, but Dracula V finishes off Hokage, and TD Swag going to get finished off by Slicey. Now suddenly the Gold Fury and the singular Oracle are going to go the way of Archipelago.
Archipelago, is that going to be a split? Again, a split oracles. But here's the thing. We were talking about how the sustain from Geo won't be of too much of a help because of the anti-heal. Well, I'm officially going to rescind that. That sustain is the only reason Slicey and Geo were alive there, because putting the portal up, admittedly, it does help that Geo also had the shell, and there was some good relic use as well by the respectives, you know, the Aegises and the beads, but that one obelisk gave them just enough healing to survive through that absolute brawl at the Gold Fury.
I mean, you got to put it into perspective that, yes, Circuit Ultimate is 100% anti-heal. Yet it's 100% anti-heal on a single target, compared to something like
Custard's been systematically spreading it though, which is why I've been talking about it so much.
Yeah.
Every time he has used it, bar like 3 times, the last breath has spread to another person.
Yeah, but not to mention as well, Geo's Monolith doesn't actually heal for too much. If we have a quick look at it, you can see that it's currently healing for it's actually 9 plus 5% of his magical power, so it's doing basically 9 HP per tick. That sounds like it's a decent amount, but that's at most 90 health. It's very little, but it's just enough. The Custard's going to get forced to use the Purification. Last breath, nice Kepri revive. He's still very much dead though.
Slicey is going to result in Geo getting the critting blow, but Slicey, not to be outdone, gets a killing blow himself onto Vintage. Archipelago massacring Orphan Squad, getting 3 kills, looking for the 4th of the TT. Huge chunk damage from the bludgeon. Slicey rejoining the fray. TT doesn't have a jump. Kurtanos is good, but he doesn't have any way of over the wall. He's going to be trapped, butchered, 4-4-0 Archipelago.
Meanwhile, over in the duo lane, Kirip going to be looking for a tier 1 tower. He's not actually going to get it this way, but it will be coming soon. Hokage, though, on no mana, about 3/4 of HP, so he is going to be okay if he did get attacked, but you don't want to be sitting there for too long. Instead, they're going to be looking for the towers, making sure that Orphan Squad don't lose any more kills, and instead just generally taking more pressure. Custard, though, is around to stop Kirip.
Yeah, Custard can challenge Kirip. Beads popped already, but look at the burst damage! Kirip can only do so much against that. He doesn't have any form of massive lifesteal. He has a chalice. That's it. Custard is desperately chasing down his quarry. Auto attack misses. He's trying to find it. The impale from Kirip is good. Desert Fury to give himself CC reduction and just to force him backwards fully. TD was close enough to try and defend, but Kirip somehow gets out.
I was honestly not expecting him to get out. I thought that was it. That was him done. Kirip was going to die. Instead, no, he gets away, and now suddenly Orphan Squad just feel a little bit down because they just use so much to try and get it. Dracula gonna get stunned out. Luckily, he's on Suku, so he can run away and jump over this wall, get this mid-camp. Yet again, just Archipelago look like they're just exerting so much pressure, even though they're not that far in the lead. It's 5k gold, that's pretty good, and 6k XP, that's pretty good, but is not a decimating lead compared to what they had last time. Oh, Slicey.
Oh, they could be looking for a more decimating lead with this good kill. The point-blank snipe is good because the resurrect from Vintage. This is why you take Kepri away from him. Yeah, they'll lose Custard, but Vintage has been getting these reses every time. But I guess every time the person raised immediately dies afterwards, so I suppose that puts my judgment into question here, Wiz. So I've got to ask you, has, in the grand scheme of things, Vintage's Kepri pick been working out?
I mean, he's been doing exactly what he needs to be doing as a Kepri, but it's just not enough because of the fact that Orphan Squad don't have that amazing initiating front line. Look at what they have. At best, they have Custard's Ultimate. Oh, okay. Why was Dracula down there?
He got way too aggressive. Yeah, I was looking at the solo. I was looking, and luckily I didn't manage to catch that in time. TT was grabbing the back camp, and yes, that was a decent attempt to steal by Dracula, but there was the ultimate deploy by Tweet to actually kill him. And now Kirip's looking to try and avenge his fallen comrade, but nothing really could happen there. But still, I'll agree with your point. Why was Dracula that far down?
it's Dracula. He's normally that far down anyway. But unfortunately, that's going to end up him dying. Now, suddenly, Archipelago looking to take this buff. It did go their way, so at least they do have that. Slicey as well, getting caught out a little bit by Custard and Hokage in the jungle. Luckily, he is Giannis. He's got portals. You don't have to worry about him too much.
Yes, Slicey has been able to give himself and his team some excellent horizontal mobility and through wall mobility as well. He has been actually saved people systematically just with his portals alone. And at the same time, he has been incredibly evasive, so Orphan Squad are going to have a hard time trying to catch him to stop those portals being that useful.
Yeah. Also, Gold Fury did actually get started up by Archipelago there. Unfortunately, as soon as TD Swag came over and saw it, they immediately ran away. They do want to start a fight, though. Gio going to get a nice stun onto Custard.
That's going to initiate the fight. Root Obelisk is going to give a little bit more time for Archipelago, but Archipelago, at least the rest of them, aren't feeling as aggressive as GL wants to be. They're going to instead hang back, look for maybe an individual pick in the jungle, but in general, they don't want to dive the tower just yet.
Yeah, Portal Demon is up as well, but Archipelago just do not have the grouping to be able to go for it. And Orphan Squad is all around here as well, except TD Swag, who's the furthest away. Oh, Geo taking quite a decent amount of damage there, but Monolith will heal him up at least a little bit, so he doesn't have to worry too much. There we go, someone's taking down the Monolith anyway, so now TD Swag at least making sure they can't heal up and more than they need to.
Want to keep himself
India guy.
present. India guy down to half already, gonna driving strike away. But Archipelago, as a result of that, is gonna give themselves the blue buff and maybe another go onto India guy here.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get pulled in. Dracula V is just destroying him. He does have medical wounds on if he doesn't do too much. Dracula V underneath tower, not going to get hit by the Earthbreaker. Is actually going to get hit on the way out. He's dead!
No! How?
Oh, oh no!
Okay, congratulations to India guy, that was amazing. What are you doing, Dracula? We'll leave the end of that for the meantime, because now there's more fighting on the left side here. Custard, incredibly low on the tower, can't really help out Vintage and Tweety, who are going 2 versus 3 against the rest of Archipelago. Slightly trying to clear the ways at the top to grab the tower, back down bottom. TD's gonna drop to the combined fire of Archipelago, and because Slicey cleared the minions, Archipelago, if they want to, could back off the fight and immediately start demolishing the tower.
Yeah, tier 1 tower is going to go down. Jimmy Massive just slowly finishing out. Kirip leaping over the wall to help out. Enjoy. And now Portal Demon is going to be the contested target. And no one on the side of Orphan Squad can really try and go for it. Hokage Ultimate is down. So this should be very much free for the side of Archipelago. India guy might be able to stop it a little bit longer, but it won't go his way. Then again, they aren't doing a whole lot of damage to it. India guy's already here.
And now India guy trying to contest, and Archipelago smell that, immediately move backwards. Don't try and force the fight in a situation where you could get stunned, excavated. Of course, they may not be tracking the cooldowns on the excavate, which is down right now, but they could still fear that nonetheless, so take the smart play and move back to base.
This is a problem that I have with some of the lower level teams though. That should have been the call for Orphan Squad to go for the Portal Demon. However, both of their damage dealers, Hokage and TD, were all the way over in this duo lane. You could have easily gotten a Portal Demon, and at least they do get the Gold Fury there. Kirip actually taking a lot of damage, but Custard's going to get impaired.
3-man Root is going to allow the through time and space to do a good bit of damage. Kirip is going to be forced out after the heavy damage from Orphan Squad. In comes Jimmy with the 3-man Eagles rally. This is the opportunity for Archipelago. Dracula pulls Vintage towards him and into the briny depths. Custard trying to get away, but he gets lashed in stealth by Jimmy Amazing trying to jump away. Meanwhile, off screen, Kirib takes out McTD Swag. India guy trying to hold off the rest of his team, but India guy's going to go down as well. Hokage is the last man alive for Orphan Squad. Archipelago have the run of the entire map to do what they please.
Where are they going? What are they doing? There is a tier 2 tower that is free for you to go take. Instead, you're going for buffs? Again, this is a hallmark of a lower level team. That should have been a tier 2 tower. You had a lot of people. But this is
Archipelago at the same time. Like, they are the top of the league, but it's top of Southeast Asia. So without trying to sound too disparaging, we have to be honest. What does top tier mean in Southeast Asia compared to the rest of the world? Not that much.
Yeah, like, they should have taken down that tier 2 tower. Instead, they decided to go for buffs and then look for Portal Demon, but now Orphan Squad are here to contest it.
Yeah, that they could have gone for one objective cleanly. They gone for a tower. They could have gone for Portal Demon, but they hesitated. They messed about in the jungle too much. And now Orphan Squad are here to contest. Snipe is not going to be a full steal, but it will give Archipelago a little bit of pause for thought. But Portal Demon will successfully be acquired, and Orphan Squad are going to have to retreat and lick their wounds.
Yeah, now at least the portal is up, that allows Archipelago to come back easily. Orphan Squad are still hovering. They know that the Call of Fire Giant is slowly going towards the way of Archipelago if they wanted to, but Archipelago honestly need a big fight beforehand. They're looking for Custard, who's slicey. Oh,
gone
okay.
Before anyone could even blink. That is the amount of damage that Slicey's putting out right now. He's got so much pen, a good bit of cooldown on power off of the Janus portal. Look at the player damage. He is middle of the pack right now, or third on his team, but the damage he's doing counts. It's huge burst damage on the occasional targets. Resurrect from Vintage goes on to TD Swag. Dracula pops the res deliberately. He's thinking he's confident to actually get a kill here.
That was actually a really nice idea because Vintage pulled him and actually made sure that he was right next to TD Swag anyway, who finally falls after Vintage. That was really unfortunate now. India guy as well getting rooted, doing as much as he can, forcing the Earthbreaker out. And now India guy on full HP is going to be able to get Kirip into the wall. This could be a big deal. Custard going to use the last press on him. Kirip nowhere. Down goes Custard. Oh, okay, Dracula V.
Stun combos was okay. Getting some vengeance for his wall stunned comrade. One, that was some dirty CC chaining from Orphan Squad, putting Kirip against the wall again and again and again and again. But at the same time, shoutouts to Dracula trying to avenge him. It looks like Jimmy Maisie is actually disconnected here, which is rather unfortunate. I believe Orphan Squad do have, Archipelago still have a pause to use.
Yes, they do have a pause.
They was on Vintage, so hopefully they use it here.
Yeah, I'm sure they will use it as soon as they realize that Massey has DC'd. Dracula V, though, little bit dangerous here. Lazy backing, boys. Not quite dead. There we go. Finally, TD Swag finishing him off.
What is it with this set, WizKid, and lazy backs? There have been so many lazy backs this set.
There have been a lot of lazy backs, and I'm surprised that he was doing a lazy back considering that Massey is DC'd. I've heard from production, though, it is not a long pause, so we have a bit of time. What do you want to talk about?
Well, first of all, now that we actually have some moment to talk about items, let's have a look at the relics for a moment. So first of all, we're seeing Horrific Emblem from Jimmy Maisie. Horrific Emblem is a relic which has fallen by the wayside. In its previous form, the Creeping Curse, for those of you who are newer to the game, that used to be combined with an item, the Weakening Curse used to be combined with an item which is now effectively known as Curse, the healing reduction, to be one super item. It was always picked, always wonderful. But now the items are split, you rarely end up seeing either Horrific Emblem or the Curse.
Yeah, but I think we're seeing this on the side of Jimmy Massey just because he's doing so well keeping right next to the entire team of Orphan Squad. So even if they do use like the Thoth Evade and Punish or the Kepri tries to dash away, the Horrific Emblem will guarantee that Jimmy Massey will always catch up, and when he catches up, he will start doing insane amounts of damage due to the fact that he's got the Shogun's Kansari, the Mystical Mail, and even though he's got Ninja Tab by, it's still going to be hurting him real bad.
So something to also keep in mind with that Shogun's Kasari, that's going to give a big old buff to the damage that Kirip's putting out. He's going to go with the standard power pen build on her. But it looks like her Kage Devil, he is decently far behind, not as far as his solo laner. He's going to go with the Pythagorean's Piece, so he wants to give his team a bit more lifesteal and power to work with. That is, as well, talking about some new changes to items that happened during the, I think it was either the beginning of the season or the mid-season patch. That gives physical lifesteal as well as magical lifesteal, and physical power as well as magical power. It's the first item in the game that can give dual stats on the passive.
Yeah, however, because it gives dual stats, it's quite expensive, and it also doesn't give as much as a singular one. So something like Bloodforge, no, not Bloodforge, but Bancross Talon, is 100 magical power, and I believe 15% magical lifesteal, and if you get it fully down, get yourself down to about 25% HP, it goes all the way up to 200 magical power and 30% magical lifesteal, which is insane, and it's cheaper than Poly.
The mechanics there from Custard to get the poison onto Slicey before he gets away will force Slicey back. And he does have 3 steps. Vintage, meanwhile, trying to keep his team alive. Sniper's good. Vintage has to resurrect himself. This is what Orphan Squad needs. Sorry, what Archipelago needs to focus Vintage. Get him to burn the resurrect on himself. Through time and space, and Slice is going to get him back into the action. Archipelago gets 2 picks for themselves. Orphan Squad is completely falling apart. TD's on his own. Hokage wants to try and help, but now he's going to be able to Kirip, although the pillar combo isn't fully effective. It knocks him away, so he's not able to get the kill onto the Thoth, but they will get the tower as consideration.
Yeah, India are going to be able to get a nice driving strike there, but he is still going to fall down eventually after some time. Now the Phoenix is going to be under pressure. Dracula V diving over, trying to get Hokage. Vintage actually going to get a nice pull. Dracula could be dead here. Yes, he is. Vintage going to be able to get that kill, but the Phoenixes are being chased down. The middle one being attacked. The right-hand side just about to start being attacked. And Slicey also dealing with this tier 2 on the left-hand side.
This is what we need to see from Archipelago. We're seeing them get proactive, although they are calling for Slicey to come help out. I'm seeing a lot of pings. They are in red, which means they're from Archipelago. I'm not sure what they mean. Maybe it's just like, hey, Slicey, get over here and help. But at the same time, he's doing the right thing, pushing this left side.
I mean, this tower is guaranteed dead now. Unfortunately for Orphan Squad, they weren't able to rotate in time, so they do lose that. Although they weren't able to get a Phoenix, that puts a little bit more pressure on the side of Orphan Squad. The Fire Giant is up, and the Portal Demon is just spawned as well. That's something that Archipelago can absolutely get without any doubt, because guess what? Slicey has been learning from Dracula and is doing exactly what he normally does.
Yeah, that very, very evasive. At this point, I'm hesitant to start calling it the Dracula play. It's almost leaked out to the rest of the scene. Southeast Asia is doing it a lot more. Through space and time was... Oh!
Okay!
Completely Hail Mary! I saw him charging through space and time.
Oh no!
But I didn't think it would actually hit, and that was a DC,
no.
That's why he hit it. Oh, I thought TD was just lazy backing.
Yeah,
okay, that's not that hype, actually. That's super sucky. Okay, so it sucks that wasn't a legit like guest snipe, but it was a DC. But either way, that is going to give Slicey a good bit of room to work with now, because TD's out of the picture for the time being. It's now Orphan Squad that has to deal with the pause, and the pause is probably going to be used in full here. Archipelago now are ahead in gold, they're ahead in levels, they're ahead in items, and the power items specifically. They've got the Keen Sires online, the Shogun's Kusaris, they've got the Spear of Desolations, Chronos Pendants, and they've got the tier 2 relics coming up fairly shortly as well. So Archipelago have a humongous power play to work with here.
I mean, we've barely even looked at the graphs this game, but it's 14.6k gold lead and a nearly 20k XP lead. Archipelago have just been doing fantastically farming, taking out some of the kills, looking for these towers, looking for the Gold Fury, looking for the Portal Demon even. They've just been doing so much work that it's just led them to be this ridiculously far in the lead. Not to mention, most of this XP lead is a direct XP lead. Only one of them is level 20 currently. Only Slicey is level 20. That means that nearly most of that 20k XP is straight down as Slicey goes in with the space and time.
Archipelago looking to break in the front door of Orphan and secure themselves the 2-0. But they're going to have a bit of trouble because Orphan Squad are not a team that goes down without a fight. Vintage taking a bit of damage, but he is level 12, so he's a very squishy lobster. Expect Archipelago to focus him first, focus him fast, and focus him hard to burn his resurrect as soon as they can.
Oh, Eagles rally in from Jimmy, just going to destroy. Nice last breath from Custard to keep him busy, but he just doesn't take enough damage. Dracula V already dropping down to the indie guy. TD Swag going to be finished off by Slicey. The Phoenix is already down. This might be game right here.
Yeah, if this isn't game, this is the death knell for Orphan Squad. They are going to do a valiant attempt to fight, but this is looking dire. They've just lost a third person. They lost Custard. Archipelago are just going to be able to decimate Orphan Squad's remaining backline. The snipe from Hokage is going to be nice to have, and he can just sit in the fountain and fire off abilities. But Archipelago have the meat. They've got the backline firepower as well. This Titan is most likely going to be Ritual Sacrifice, unless Orphan Squad, or sorry, Archipelago wants to start padding their KDs, and that is going to be the 2-0 for Archipelago.
Yeah, that's going to make sure that they get a huge amount of points, which they really need to keep in touching distance of Viral. I cannot wait to see those two meet.
And so, with the end of that, we should talk about those standings we keep hammering on about, Wiz. So we're going to bring those up in a moment or two. So here are the standings as follows. Archipelago, after that 2-0, are now 7 points up with 3 matches played, 2 wins and 1 tie, exactly the same as Viral. Viral and Archipelago are neck and neck.
That is exactly why Archipelago needed those points. Now suddenly it's looking like Viral could be knocked out of the top spot. And I'm not sure exactly when Archipelago and Viral get to meet again. It looks
I'll
like
look
it'll
at the
be in week
brackets now for you.
4.
Yes, it's going to be week 4 that we actually see Viral and Archipelago. It's going to be the last match of the day. So that's going to be what I'm looking forward to. But looking at the rest of the brackets here, Wiz, this isn't necessarily a 2-horse race per se, because now Loyal is only 2 points behind.
Yeah, they are actually surprisingly close. Meanwhile, Orphan Squad and Blitz have both yet to find points. It's unfortunate. These guys are definitely the ones that came in and they weren't expected to do so well, but normally by now you would expect at least to have a couple of points for them, and they just have not been able to find them yet.
I'm happy though, Wiz, that you left out Get On My Level until last, even though they're 4th in the actual tables, because Get On My Level have just put themselves on my radar in a huge way. The performance they did today was a huge step up from their previous performances. I would say they are the dark horse of this tournament right now. I am super happy, and I'm really looking forward to their next games in week 3.
Yeah, they very much could be the team to try and come back and actually take down Loyal and Viral, maybe even Archipelago when they face them again. But I believe that's the end of our cast today.
Oh, had a lot of fun today. Today was actually quite fun. Minimal technical issues apart from 1 or 2 things. But yeah, today has been a rather wonderful week here at the Esports Anger Invitational League for Southeast Asia. I've been Verbalocity. That's been WizKid. Shout out to Unvi, one of our production guys, and shout out to Extreme. WizKid, any final shout outs or anything before we head off?
Shout out to Bill HK, because apparently it's awesome being on the High-Res TV server.
Oh my god. Alright. We're going to bugger off now. Thank you all for watching. We do sincerely appreciate your patronage here on High-Res TV. We hope to bring you the highest quality, the most purest form of SMITE, Southeast Asia. Good night, everyone.